The festival is nigh!
Ginger, are you ready?
I am.
Well, the players are ready, and let's go ahead and get started here for the playoffs of Elden Squares Season 2 Nartock versus Asym. Here we go. Ginger, center square.
Draconic Tree Sentinel.
I will go with Tree Sentinel Duo as the center square.
Okay.
And the center square, oh my god, Boss on Torrent is the center square, so that's a very, very fast one.
Yeah.
But we will start with the early squares on this board.
There's a lot. Oh my god.
In the top row, we do have Perfume Bottle, but keep in mind with the Abductor Virgins play is not available to the players right now, and Moglord of Blood on the board. In row 2, though, we have some very fast squares, Margit, Parries, consumables only. We also have 2 Misbegotten bosses that can combo very well with 4 bosses in Weeping. Row 3, we have Treescent plus 0, Godric Nepheli. Row 4, we have Agheel plus 0. In row 5, we have Box Needle Paintings. And Caves, granted that is 4 caves, so that is quite a long one.
Yeah.
Very interesting board, how it's kind of like now then later. I think this early game here is obviously crucial. There are so many early game squares. But if it gets to the late game, we could see a very interesting one with Moglord of Blood, Rykard, Sewer Moog on here. You know, we'll see how. I think it's going to be a situation where if this is even in the early game, coming out of the early game, we're going to be in here for a long one. But we could also just see someone run away with it in the early game. Because this is very hard to prioritize. You have Boss on Torrent as the center square, which is really fast. But you also have other incredibly fast squares that are even faster. You have Tree Sentinel plus 0. You have Agheel plus 0. You have consumables only. This is a very tricky board to read.
There's a lot on this board, that's for sure. It's gonna be a bloodbath in this starting game. Yeah. Because you end up getting sniped on multiple squares, and that's detrimental. And so it'll be really interesting. Do we see somebody decide to start straight with Treescent 0 or Consumable only or Agheel instead of going straight for Torrent only? Or do we see both of them rush Torrent only? With it being middle square, that is extremely tantalizing.
Yeah, I think it's really hard. And both players starting with this cracked Vagabond class, wieldable Grave Scythe. Grave Scythe is a really good opening weapon. I actually like it a lot. It has it's basically a halberd with bleed. It is very strong, especially for the early game. And
I think we're gonna see a Torrent only race.
Maybe Torrent only. I don't know. It's so hard.
I'm thinking Torrent only into Treescent plus 0 into Consumable only into Agheel would be my guess.
Yeah.
But it's risky, right? Because you get sniped on any of these and it's brutal.
It's also interesting too because you have Torrent only as center square, and the other 3 incredibly fast squares, consumables, Agheel, and Treescent, those 3 are all faster than Torrent only, but none of those are even on diagonals.
Yep. They're not in very good positions.
Well, we got to get that. This is a hype opener. We got screw the quiet music.
Yeah, this is very hype opener.
Yeah, this is a very tense one.
Honestly, though, if they do get Treescent plus 0, Torrent only, Agheel, and Consumable only, that is the start to the Mega Cock. Just throwing that out there.
Well, the other thing to be scared about is if you, with Tree Sentinel, right? If that is Dragon Halberd or Banished Knights plus 8, I think it will be immediately wieldable, and that'll be a huge swing.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if Tree Sentinel immediately is the best play, but it could be depending on what the RNG is.
Yeah.
I think the odds of getting either of those weapons are less than 20% overall. So it's not good odds, but it's a very realistic possibility.
Yeah, it makes it a viable play for sure. Nartock's got about half a second on Asym right now.
Yep.
Ooh, Asym runs past the Grace slightly, has to turn around. Time loss.
It looks like Nartock is going for the Grace and Asym is going for Tree Scent, so we will go full screen with Asym here.
Ooh, he does take a hit there early.
Nice stun. Now this weapon's not going to be fantastic on Tree Scent because Tree Scent is fairly resistant to slashing damage and bleed as well. So you're only going to get one bleed proc here.
Yep. Big bleed there.
Really nice job
Stagger.
using the jumping R2s. He gets clawed.
Ooh.
Huge stun. One more shot will do it. And Asym gets it down. Very
is.
nicely done by Asym. He gets first blood in the set. We'll see what the weapon check is. Loretta's War Sickle, so not what he was looking for.
Now we will see him rush straight into consumable only. It's the only real play after doing that. That does give Nartock center square, which is really big for Nartock, but he is gonna be down one square after this. And then I think we see an Agile +0 race here.
Well, I think Asym will have to just sack the Agil race to Nartock. I don't think he can,
I
because
think
Nartock
so.
already has Torrent, and he can just go straight there. I think
Yep.
Asym trying to contest Agil would be a mistake.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I agree.
Bad.
Big
Open the
stagger,
weapon.
and he gets it.
There's center square to Nartock. Now Asym going for consumables. Nartock's actually grabbing the whetstone knife here.
Nice job, Asym.
Asym gets consumables. Nartock sees the mark. I think. Is this straight to Agil?
Okay.
Think he goes great sword check. We'll see what this is. It is Gargoyle's great sword. So good smithing weapon, but you already have Grave Scythe, which is better. So Nartock is down a square, but he does already have Torrent and actually just pushing straight into Stormhill, either going early Liurnia or potentially for the Margit parries here.
I do like the Stormveil play here. But I think if he's gonna push the Stormveil play, I would push a Agile +0 because then getting Godric Nefeli Lu, that puts a much bigger threat on the board.
Yeah. Nartock going back to first step, so I think this is an Agil play for Nartock.
Okay.
Now that they started with a medium shield that might come with parry, except Nartock did pick up the whetstone knife, so he could. I'm not sure if it came with parry or not. Either way, though. Oh, and Asym got a small shield though with parry from Kale.
Oh, wow.
That's huge for Asym.
Yeah, that's massive for him.
Nartock here going for Agil, his favorite square.
hits. Big stagger. Big damage.
This charge attack is clunky.
Good move to get.
And Asym's going straight for Margit.
Fuck.
Big play by Asym. I like it a lot.
Bad RNG here. One more bleed or a stagger will do it. There's the stagger. And Nartock gets that down.
Very nicely done.
Asym here going for Margit Parry's. Gotta say, bingo's crazy. We have a game yesterday, no squares marked for 20 minutes. Today, 4 squares on the board by 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Both these players
Like
playing
I
incredibly
said,
well early.
Bloodbath in the beginning. Crazy though that there haven't been any snipes. They have gone for different squares the whole time. This will be the first snipe.
Yeah, that shield pickup for Asym was huge. I gotta say, like, with his opening play, he did, like, the call A check is minor, but the call A check plus the tree sentinel check did put himself in a position to get fortunate with RNG, and it's happened.
And that is 6 parries.
Yep. Nartock is grabbing Stormwall, but as... Oh, this is going to be a bad snipe for Nartock because he grabbed Stormwall. Meanwhile, Asym just went straight for it. Granted, he did have that small shield with parry. Asym needs to be careful. Does get a heal off.
Cut.
Oh, beautiful RNG. Barely gets that strafe, but he does get it. And one more hit. All right. Margit parries goes to Asym. Nartock will not be pleased about this.
That's fast. Fuck.
He just saw the mark.
Yep. Not much to say
I'm
about
set
it.
behind now.
Yeah, I think just realizing that he is just behind.
Yep. We do have Moog Lord of Blood on the board. I just noticed.
We do,
that.
yeah. Yeah, you could do 3 paintings with Stormveil. That would be really nasty. Like, there's a lot of auxiliary value in Stormveil.
Oh, yeah.
3 paintings. Obviously, there is that Godric Nepheli loose square. You get a Shard Bearer, which you need a Shard Bearer down for Moog, or 2 for Capital and Sewer Moog. There is also a Seal in here, as well as a Lion Guardian. Those 2 being less important, but definitely some auxiliary value here in Stormveil, as well as a square.
Yep.
Nartock pushing straight for Liurnia, but we're going to see the first roundtable check of the game here from Asym. Bloodhound's Fang.
Oh wow. This is quite the seed.
All right. I mean, this is a great seed, and I think it might be damn near immediately wieldable. I think the stats are very similar to that Grave Scythe.
Great seed, great starting board. This is crazy
good seed. Like, this is just the battle of, this is an execution battle. Like, it is like you got your weapons, you got a crazy starting class. It's just gonna be who can play better on the day.
Where is
He's going for Box Needle.
Great sword check. Okay.
Yeah, Asym was able to take that early lead and just go ahead and do a round table check, knowing that he is up slightly. Nartock here just gonna go ahead and rush towards Liurnia map progression.
Wonder what the tech is.
There's some tech that Nexus found where you can hide in a bush. and hit the first. I mean, I've only seen him do it with square off, but basically you don't summon and you like hide in a bush, and then you can hit the first demi-human queen while they're still like sleeping or whatever.
Okay.
Standard
You
halberd
see
from
the
the halberd check.
Yep.
Also, Nartock did note that the Margit parries were fast. I wonder if he's worried about potentially Banished Knights +8 or Dragon Halberd. We know that is not the case. It was fast because of the parry shield. But whenever a square gets marked faster than usual in the early game and someone's killed Tree Scent, it is always a possibility that they got Dragon Halberd or Banished Knights Halberd +8.
We will see demi-human duo here. That is another cave for Asym, making 2 caves for him.
Yep. All right, Nartock here is going to go do the round table check and get Bloodhound's Fang. Asym, we'll go full screen with him. Actually, I think he is going to summon. Because he quits out at the door. The reason why you quit out there is so that... because otherwise, Eastfon... No, he does not quit out, actually. I guess this is part of the tech.
Okay.
So he quits out and then hides.
Big damage.
All right, that was pretty cool. Okay, so according to Nexus, you quit out at the door because the outside enemies will aggro and wake up the demi-humans.
Okay.
While they're sleeping.
Very well done. Very good fight there by Asym.
Yeah, very good fight. And it looks like Nartock here is going to go for Box Needle as well and potentially get sniped again.
Oh, no.
He did find Bloodhound Fang, though.
At least he won't
There's
be in
the
the
mark.
cave or in the fight.
It's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't so detrimental of a fight, or of a snipe, but it still hurt.
I mean, we're just seeing Asym with this early lead is just playing confident, continuing to... Excuse me. Asym with this early lead is just playing confident and continuing to go for squares. Meanwhile, we do see Nartock a little frantic here, like pivoting around, thinking Box Needle, thinking, you know, setting up for multiple stuff, while Asym is just in go mode. That's part of the luxury you can have while you're ahead and just continuing to build pressure. So it looks like Nartock is going paintings here. Asym either could be going paintings or just straight to Godric Nepheli. Because there is a painting in Stormveil, but if Asym is going for paintings, Nartock will snipe him, I think.
Yep.
Actually, it's close. It's very close, but Asym... Nartock doesn't have that much farther to run, and Asym has to pick up the one in Limgrave, and they both have to do the one in Caelid. Yep. So it'll be close. You want to
grab the Grace here.
Yeah.
I think Asym wins this. If he hard rushes paintings, Asym... Well, no, because Asym still needs to go get the...
Yeah, he still needs to go to the Artist Shack.
Yeah. Nartock kind of wasting time there with the beetle, doesn't even get it.
Yeah.
It's going to be really close.
I mean, I hope for good games. I hope Nartock does win paintings, because if this thing goes into the late game, it's like, I think it's going to be fireworks if we can get to the late game here. Sewer Moog, Lord of Blood, Rykard. Crazy late game if we can get to it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it does just look like this is a paintings race.
Yep. This board is a very good mix of early and late, and I love it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little early, but I mean, that's how it goes, though, right? Like, and that's also why it's, especially in playoffs, is a best of 3, right? RNG is very much a part of bingo, right? It's undeniable. But, you know, that's why you do best of 3s. And players have to be ready for all sorts of circumstances. If you're a great late game player, but you're bad early, you're going to get torched, or same thing other way around.
Yeah, I think Nartock wins paintings here.
Yeah. Also, some interesting threats. That larval tiers becomes very important with 2 misbegotten bosses. There's no Leonine on the board, but you can do Scaly and Leonine, and that will give you 2 misbegotten bosses and half of your weeping bosses there.
Is there anything else in Caelid?
There's not a lot here in Caelid. There's status effect Ashes of War. You know, you always could see a Radon play as a Shard Bearer. Lion Guardians. There is the imbued key here, but nothing incredibly Caelid heavy. Also, there is the perfume bottle check. Just keep in mind that because the mod is not yet updated for playoffs, but what the players have agreed to is that if it is lightning, they are not allowed to use that on the Abductor Virgins. However, you still can check it to get a perfume bottle for that perfume bottle square later.
Yeah, this will be a pretty nasty snipe for Asym, but at least he does have map progress. But Nartock's map progress is much better at this point.
Yeah, so we have Nartock up on map, Asym up on square count.
And
there's the snipe. Immediate pivot for Asym. I actually think going Godric Nepheli here is a good play. It's not necessarily the most valuable square, but you can get a square and get value while also going to, like, you need to get into Liurnia at this point.
Yep.
Like, going through Stormveil is obviously slower than running around, but you do get a square out of it, so I think it's worth it, especially as it prepares you for the late game, right? Getting a Shard Bearer. So often we see having that first Shard Bearer down having an effect when you have like a capital race or a Mogul to Blood race because someone's behind on a Shard Bearer. Plus, just the extra stats and everything are going to help you a lot. Give you money to get your Bloodhound's Fang up to +4 without having to pop balloons. Give you the ability to get a bunch of Vig, right?
I think we're gonna see some misbegotten bosses from Nartock here. And the 4 weeping bosses.
Yeah, we very well could. Yeah, Ellie's already concerned about Nartock blitzing the column. The column 3.
That would be a very, very good play from him. Kind of get a big threat on the board, force Asym to do something that he doesn't necessarily want to do right now.
Yeah, and we see Nartock going into Weeping, but also setting up the Grace right by the Rune Bear that drops a larval tier in Limgrave. But Asym here doing Godric Nepheli, using the Rock Grease. A little surprised he didn't save this just for like a potential Mogul to Blood later. But I guess, I mean, anything to get you through the early game as quick as possible. And you know what? Actually, Godric does get a lot chunkier when you summon Nepheli. So having the extra percentage-based damage with the Rock Grease, I think, is probably worth it.
Yeah. It does help a lot. Ooh, big stagger out of the tornado there. And phase 2. Ooh, and with Nepheli doing her tornado right there. That was good. Nepheli actually coming in kind of clutch right there with the damage. Big bleed and stagger. Halfway in the ground.
Wow. Really, really quick Godric Nepheli. Great job there.
Very quick. Very well done by Asym.
Nartock here is going to go ahead and upgrade his Bloodhound Fang already up to +1.
Okay.
He's going to see the Godric Nepheli mark.
Good. That's good for us.
He says that's good for us.
Yeah,
it
he
was fast. It
expecting
was damn fast, though. I was initially questioning the use of that rock grease, but I think it made that fight so much faster. It was definitely worth it.
Yeah, if he goes larval tears right here, this would be very heads up of him.
Yeah. Especially because that does block the 2 lines that Nartock is threatening.
Yep.
The only lines that aren't blocked already that Nartock has any squares are on our row 4 and column 3. Larval Tears blocks both, but Nartock here going for his first Weeping Boss in this Knight's Cav.
And then all Asym has to do is kill Moglord of Blood, and that completely locks down the board.
So true. All he has to, just this simple square of killing Moglord of Blood. Yep.
Simple rush square.
Yeah.
Give me bro. Come here, bro. Please stop. Broski, please. Me check.
Very nice use of that Ash at the end of the fight there by Nartock. Yeah. I think he might go straight for this Deathbird here. Yep, and he is. Asym is just continuing to progress into Liurnia, making up on some of the map advantage that Nartock has over him.
And then I think we'll get the double square mark with the Misbegotten and 4 Weeping Bosses to really just...
Yep.
Yeah, just get a huge, massive threat out of nowhere on the board. Now he could also prep this and already go and take out a larval tier before finishing off the final Misbegotten boss. That would be risky, but could be good.
Yeah. Another thing to note here, this is very minor, but this Deathbird is an axe check. Obviously no axe is better than Bloodhound Fang, but if it is Stormhawk axe, that could be open up Virgins as a way to Altus, because neither player has really progressed towards Altus at all.
Ooh, I thought he got hit there. Wow.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
does get hit there.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Nartock completely whiffing on the combo there.
Mm-hmm. There's that terrain just slightly too low.
Yep, and there's the Deathbird down. That is the second Weeping Boss here for Nartock. Let's see what the axe check is. Rosis. So good weapon, not better than Bloodhound's Fang.
Yeah.
If that was Stormhawk, though, that could have been very big.
And we will see Asym upgrading his weapon here.
Yeah, Asym just went the fast way to EG, not going the balloon popping route, because he already has plenty of money from Godric.
Yep.
And just able to go real quick. I think Nartock actually might do Larval Tears first here, which if you're going all out for the line may be correct, if I'm 100% honest.
I agree.
Kill 2 Weeping Bosses, set up Leonine, then go get your Larval Tears, and then go kill the two Misbegotten, and that wins.
Yeah, you get 2 quick larval tears here by going lobster into the item pickup, and then just grab your bear and you're good to go. This could end up being a very fast bingo.
Asym here is moving south,
Weeping.
though. This could be Weeping. It could be for the Rune Bear with the Larval Tear drop, which is still in Limgrave. And Nartock, you're going for Lobster Scion. Not a super common one, but he does have a Bloodhound's Fang. That being said, this guy hits crazy hard. So you kill this Lobster, and then it turns into a grafted Scion, and then you get a Larval Tear. Also, his Bloodhound's Fang is only +1 here. Also, who the hell knows how to fight a lobster?
Asym's is +4, which is actually really not good
I hate
for
this lobster. I'm not doing
Nartock.
this. Fucking hell.
And Nartock goes down.
If Asym hard rushes Weeping Bosses, This is really bad for Nartock if he gets that square.
And Nartock seems a bit flustered. Like we talked beforehand about how Nartock's never lost a playoff game. He was the champion of the Rookie Rumble event that he competed in before this, went 6-0 in the playoffs. And you know, I was curious coming into this match. I thought game 1 was huge for Asym because Nartock's never lost a playoff game, never had his back against the wall. And if Asym's able to put him in that spot, you know, how Nartock responds will be interesting. And obviously game 1's not over yet, but Asym with an early lead, and Nartock has actually, that was the first death of the match. So we see him flustered a bit.
We do see Asym going for Runebear here, which is his 3rd cave.
Yep. No,
I
actually
would
just
love
setting
to-
up the Grace.
Okay.
And Nartock
would've
is going
loved
back
to-
for the Lobster Scion. I thought he said he was not doing this, but he's going back for it.
I would have loved to see him get the Grace here.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, he doesn't just have to kill this Lobster. He has to get through an entire grafted Scion after this.
Yep.
Like, even with a +4, this guy's a menace. And I don't know this for sure, but
At this point, just go the
Fuck!
trolling, Kaled.
Fuck!
Grab the quick
Ugh.
one by the Omen Killer.
Why am I doing this?
Get the troll.
yeah. I mean, I hate that fight. Like, Lobster Scion, I think, is viable if you have a +4. But with a +1 in Bloodhound's Fang, I think it's really hard to go for. Because I really do. Let me check Lobster Elden Ring. I have to imagine because they're not called lobsters. They're called giant crayfish. And they are resistant to slash. 35% resistance to slash. 0 or 10 to everything else. So very resistant to flash. Also, fun fact, they are immune to frostbite.
Asym
Oh
is...
no, in the mountaintops they're immune to frostbite.
Asym is rushing Leonine here.
Yep.
Nartock has pivoted from larval tears. So I think we'll see him clean up his weeping bosses and then go larval tears, which is a good call because he failed the lobster twice. That's a huge time loss, especially with having to run quite far both times to get there.
Yeah, doing Lobster Scion into just grabbing the other one in Village of the Albinaurics, because Lobster Scion is relatively on the way. It is like the fastest way to get that, but my God, does it suck. And also, look, these guys practice a lot. I've never seen someone practice lobster outside of that lobster crab ladder speed run that we did. Yeah,
Barring any deaths, this will be quite the snipe again.
Yeah. Asym does have a +4 Bloodhound's Fang. Nartox is only +1.
Yep.
So Asym will make
see-
up some time on the fights. Also, I question the Graces because they have to go kill Scaly after this for 2 Misbegotten bosses. I know Asym has the Grace in the Runebear Cave. I don't know what Nartock's closest Grace is.
I think Nartock's closest is at the Merchant.
Yeah, so I think Asym is closer to Scaly for sure. Nartock is in the fight with Leonine, though. We'll go full screen with him.
Now that is assuming Asym decides to rush Misbegotten bosses after killing Leonine.
All right, Nartock gets Leonine down.
Very good fight.
Asym grabs the Grace here, which I mean, very well could cost him. Nartock does not have a super close Grace to Scaly, but I think he's going to be ahead of Asym.
Yeah, I think he'll be quite a bit ahead actually.
And when Nartock marks Misbegotten bosses, that's a double mark because he already killed the Knight's Cav and the Deathbird in Weeping earlier. And then it's just a straight up larval tiers race.
Very nicely done. And that is Leonine down for Asym.
That's Leonine down for Asym. Nartock is already basically in the cave.
Yep.
Yeah, so Nartock will snipe Asym on this. 100%.
Yep.
Unless he dies to Scaly.
Which is not impossible. Improbable, but not impossible.
Yeah.
Only Dino, yeah. Yeah, but Dino dies to Scaly in rando races
Yeah.
where Scaly is much more difficult. In his home territory, Scaly isn't that bad.
Okay.
Also, Asym's going to be trapped in this tunnel. He doesn't have a lot of runes, but that if he grabs this Grace in the tunnel, it would actually be a mistake.
Yep.
You're not going to die to Scaly, and that way if you have the Memory of Grace out, you're not stuck in the tunnel. Okay, he does not grab the Grace. It's a good heads up play, because Nartock's going to snipe him on this, and it'll be a double mark.
Yep. This reaction is...
Yeah, immediate Mog out, and now it's a Larval Tears race. We got a 5-5 game.
Yep. This is for the win if Nartock can get this square. Asym has a huge advantage, especially if he does decide to go Lobster.
Scion, yeah.
Just with a few of these fights, he just has a massive advantage in terms of weapon difference. But Asym did not grab the Grace by the Rune Bear. Nartock did.
Yep, Nartock's already there.
I really hope Nartock goes for the troll instead of going for the Lobster Scion.
Nartock unable to get the riposte there.
Yep. Bear tucking his head in the rocks.
Fuck you. Yep.
Let's get the heal off.
All right, that is the first larval tier there for Nartock.
And it's look like he is going Grafted Scion.
Also, players need to be careful. You saw Nartock there waiting. I was also checking the sound too. You got to wait until you actually acquire the larval tier. It is a second after they die until they actually drop it. That would be tragic to have that decide the game.
Yeah. I do want to see him check just to make sure if he actually
He has it.
does
I checked and I heard the sound. He 100% has it. That's why I kept it on the big screen with him for an extra second.
I would love to see him get the Grace here.
Does Asym wait? Okay, Asym does wait as well. And he quits out. It looks like Nartock... Is Nartock going back for Lobster Scion, or is he just going straight to Albus? He's going back for Lobster Scion. I mean, if Nartock gets this fight right here, he wins. This is game over.
Yep. That was a big hit, though. This Lobster is not going to go down without a massive fight.
Yeah,
Asym's
going for the troll and Kaled.
Oh, Nartock.
What is this guy? Okay.
No, he goes down.
I can't kill him.
Yeah, and Nartock goes down, and honestly, we might see a pivot off of Larval Tears from Nartock because of that. He had no prep in a race, and he might just be straight losing.
He's going again.
Asym's going for the troll. Also does do the perfume bottle pickup. so he has a perfume bottle for later. I mean, to be fair to Nartock, he's going crazy aggressive, but my god, these lobsters are a menace, and who the hell practices fighting a lobster? Like, I don't know. If Banjo was in the league, it'd be a different story, because he fights everything for 5 hours. But
Yeah, there's multiple graces near here that he should be going
Yeah.
for. I mean, if he can get it here, he still has a chance.
I think if he, depending on how long the fight is, I think he still wins if he gets it here. And keep in mind, it's not just the lobster. There's a damn grafted scion after this, too.
Yep.
And Nartock rolls too early and gets caught and goes down again.
Oh no. And we've got Asym fighting the troll. The much easier fight here. Don't fall off the cliff. He almost jumped off the cliff. Oh!
He gets
Oh!
Asym got sent off the cliff.
No!
Did he grab a grace?
I think.
Okay, he
heard-
did grab a grace right there.
Oh,
Nartock, if
man.
you go, is Nartock gonna go back for this lobster
he's-
again?
Yeah, he's going again. He needs to grab the church where Vare is, or yeah, goes for Mogul of Blood.
Yeah.
At the very least, like there's a church. It's literally right there to his right. Asym killing all of the nobles before fighting
Yeah.
the troll again. Gonna fight it not near. No, he's going near the cliff again.
All right, Asym does get the troll down. That's his second larval tier.
And Nartock is just grabbing the one past the lobster scion.
Yeah, in Village of the Albinorics. All right, he's going for the one in Caelid now. I think Asym should be fast enough to this. But Nartock could win that. It's actually going to be close. If Nartock didn't go for Lobster Scion, I mean...
Yeah, if he just went for the troll right away, it was his square.
Yeah.
Big time. Watch Asym go for lobster scion.
Yeah. I mean, Asym does have more health than Nartock and a +4 Bloodhound Fang.
He's also thinking ahead, and he's gonna get the Moglord of Blood Church.
And you can't think
Grace.
ahead too much because the game could be over here in 2 minutes if Nartock beats him on this larval tier square.
Yep.
This is alarmingly close.
Yeah. That's what, 4, 5 attempts at lobster scion?
No, I mean, there's maybe half a second, maybe Asym's half a second slower, but no major stream delay, no. Asym just has to run up and grab this tier. Nartock has to kill the troll.
Yeah, Asym's already almost there.
Nartock has a +1 Bloodhound Fang. I think Asym gets this at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so close.
It has to be a stupidly quick fight.
Yeah. We'll keep it on the dual screen. He gets the stagger. I don't think it'll be enough.
Asym gets it.
Asym gets it.
Wow.
And there's
What
the
a
mark.
snipe.
Of course. Fuck! I just...
If only he didn't keep going for Lobster Scion, game
And you
would
can
be
see
over.
Nartock's mad
Oh,
at
yeah.
himself. If he knows he would have, if he didn't go for Lobster Scion, he would have won that game.
Yep.
The game would be over already, and we'd be going into game 2 with Nartock up 1-0. Now we're in a situation, Asym's up 6-4. He has the better weapon. Map progress is about equal. Maybe a slight edge to Asym, but I mean, this is a game. It's going to be a long end game, and Asym is slightly ahead in pretty much every aspect at this point.
Yeah.
Not insurmountable for sure, but also it's hard, right? Like the game could have been over. You could have been up 1-0 in the set. Like especially it wasn't a great start for Nartock, and he nearly pulled the rabbit out of the bag there and got a quick bingo. Now he's got to recenter himself and lock in for what's going to be a long game. This game's probably going an hour and a half.
We've got an imbued sword key race.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so weapons set up for Nartock and imbued sword keys out of Asym.
That's the other thing. Nartock doesn't have money. Nartock has to go pop balloons and stuff to buy stones.
Asym is also going towards balloon. Is he just getting the grace for later?
Yeah, I think this might be robotic from Asym. I guess getting the grace for later for imbued keys. I think just setting up Dectus here is probably the best play for Asym. I mean, because you do have a fair bit of larval of Altus squares on this board. Exaltation Talisman, Perfume Bottle only. Mogul of Blood needs Altus. Rykard's Volcano Manor, but so we'll just say Sewer Moog. Seals is a lot easier in Altus. Ash of War Lightning Ram is Altus. Status Effect Ash of War is easier with Altus. I think, yeah.
Yeah, the Altus play is important here.
Yeah. Yeah, getting Status Effect Ashes of War while Asym is setting up Dectus, I think is very strong.
Yeah, what Nartock needs to do here is just lock in and get moving.
I mean, yeah, he just needs to play bingo. Like, he just needs to get out of his head. He needs to have a short-term memory, forget about his execution mistakes, forget about the fact that he almost could have won this game, and just lock in. Right.
Yep, just lock in.
Short-term memory.
Where is Asym going?
Asym's going Lion Guardians.
Okay.
Because he can just kill the other one in Stormvale, too.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be pretty big for him. Sets up another threat.
Yeah, and blocks the... and Nartock only has a few bingos left. Lion Guardians does block the bottom left to top right diagonal. That's the first Lion Guardian down. It also sets up next to the Cemetery Shade, which you could use... a Grace next to the Cemetery Shade, which you could use for your 3 and 4 for Spirit Ash summon.
Lions are cool enemies.
Yeah, and we see Asym just going straight back to Stormvale.
Get the Grace there for the Sem Shade later. And go straight to Stormvale. I like it. Nartock is setting up Dectus.
Yep. This will be Asym's second Lion Guardian and give him the square in the bottom left-hand corner, as well as a 7-5 lead.
And there it is.
And there it is.
Yep.
Also, guys, just to let you all know, we will not be doing a post-match interview after this game. We'll be giving the players, Ginger and I will talk about it, and we'll give the players about 15 minutes to prepare for game number 2. But there will be no post-match interview. We will do a post-match interview with the players after both games are completed today, regardless of whether it's 2-0 or 1-1. But no post-match interview after game 1.
I love this by Asym. Rushing imbued sword keys.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of forces your opponent into setting up more Altus, which
Yeah.
is what he's doing now. Anyways, so
Altus.
there's no way he's got.
Well, I'm just concerned that Altus is becoming very strong. So
Yeah.
potentially pushing your opponent into Altus is not the best idea, but Nartock dies to Celia skip.
Did he get the Celia Understair Grace?
I think so. No, he didn't. He's all the way back in the tunnel. Nartock just needs to calm down and focus himself here. Like
Yeah.
there's it's not your only game. There's still a lot of bingo left, right? Like even if you say in your head like I'm done for this game, you got to just keep playing, build confidence, get squares on the board. That's all super important, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think he's very much in his head right now.
Yeah, I think he is too.
Like, I think he was confident going into that line, and then the whole Grafted
Yeah.
Scion incident just really, or sorry, Lobster incident. He never
Yeah.
got to the Grafted Scion. The Lobster incident really hurt him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, recenter, lock in. Yep. Tactical Gold Nice Dog. Yeah. A little bit of extra runes.
Yeah, so I think this will be... Well, is this imbued keys or is it virgins here from Asym?
I want to say imbued, but it could be virgins.
No, it's virgins.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yes, okay, it is virgins.
Yeah. He's going to get hit by the torch guy here a couple times and then get on the elevator. Or just go straight to the elevator.
Yep. So virgins
Ooh.
here from Asym, Dectus for Nartock.
Tech? New tech with the drop down. Take some damage.
Yeah. I mean, this is risky from... This is optimal, but also risky from Asym, right?
Yeah.
Virgins will be faster, and it does spit you out right next to the Exaltation Talisman. But... You know, you got to kill virgins. He doesn't have a ton of health and no lightning damage. All right, Asym does go ahead and just get abducted there. So he will be going to Volcano Manor. You know, we also could see him grab a Somber 5-6 and maybe even a seal in Volcano Manor. But no, just decides to go straight towards Abductor Virgins.
Just rushing the virgins.
Another option is, I believe there was some Drawstring Lightning Grease in Kaled that Asym could, it's a bit out of the way, but he could go pick that up and use that on Virgins because Bloodhound's Fang is uniquely greasable. I know Rambler would do that, but he's not playing right now.
Don't think he will. I think he's just gonna straight up rush it. His flasks are pretty good. They're not upgraded, but he does have a lot of them. We do see Nartock continuing to go Dectus. This will actually be... I think Nartock is going to actually get into Dectus, or into Altus first.
He might, but he also was working on it a lot earlier.
Yep. Yeah, Ashes of War on the board and Dectus pair really well together.
Yep.
Especially because I think that would be a pretty crazy line to threaten as well, if he were to get Ashes of War.
Well, Nardi here is about to finish hitting Dectus, but this is a massive fight for Asym going into the Abductor Virgin duo.
Let's see how he does. This fight can be a bit of a menace.
Bro, what are you doing?
Asym killing the Knight in Fort Height for Bloody Slash.
Nartock.
Nartock, sorry.
The damage is so good. Doesn't quite get it down, but he is really low now.
Yeah, I like the patience here by Asym, not rushing it, not risking it. Gets the first one down, nicely done.
Greed can be good, but sometimes being patient and methodical with what you're doing can also be very, very important.
Well, the slowest thing you can do is die, and in bingo you can't just
Exactly.
reset, right?
Exactly. Do you see the perfume check by Nartock there in the bottom left?
Yeah, he's gonna grab the perfume and then the status effect Ash of War here in Kaled. Very nicely done there by
Extremely
Asym.
clean. Oh yeah. Such a clean and very well done fight.
And Nartock gets his third status effect Ash of War. He's now going to go to Altus for the fourth. So Nartock will get that square. We could just see Asym here go straight for Exaltation Talisman. That would block all of Nartock's bingos except for the column 4, which neither player has a square on.
Yep. And it looks like he's not. He's either going perfume bottle or to set up lightning ram.
Yep. And Nartock here might go for status effect Ash of War straight into perfume bottle.
Yeah, that would be a really good play by him. Block both of those threats.
One really interesting thing I'm already noticing in these playoffs, we'll see, obviously this is game 1, we'll see if it holds. You know, last season, the playoffs, players were very cautious. Snipes are so swingy, right? So we saw players avoiding doing their best to like have a line of play that avoid snipes. So far, though, we've seen the players be much more aggressive, setting themselves, like we've already seen a lot of snipes. Granted, that also might be the nature of the board as well, being such an early board, but very aggressive play from both these players, and we're going to see another bit of a snipe here as Nartock gets status effect Ashes of War.
Oh, you fucking bitch, Nartock. Fuck you.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Gotta love the open mic.
That's why we do these reactions. They're golden. Ooh, and Nartock is going Exaltation Talisman.
They might both be going. These two players might be sharing a single brain cell right now because they might both be going Exaltation Talisman.
Oh my god, if Asym gets sniped on this square as well, he's gonna lose his shit.
I mean, they both might.
Yeah.
Asym's ahead.
Massively ahead.
Yeah. But it is easy to mess up the Cumbug duo and die. If you mess up the starting script and I think if either of these guys take a full Pest Threads blast, they will just die. So
Yeah,
you gotta be careful.
Small red bar syndrome.
I mean, even if you have a big red bar, you can guide these guys. Like Ratty was doing his vigor only run, and he was getting like he was basically like, oh, I'm going to use my health with like proccing status via Exaltation Talisman to like get more damage. And so he did this fight, and it was like one of 3 deaths that he had in the entire run. Like,
I don't think the initial Asher Roar will stagger. I don't know. I don't know just how much stagger damage the initial part of the attack does. I want to say it's not enough. Wow. That's a perfect quote.
yeah, so Asym is probably 20 seconds or so ahead here. The fight's
Asym
not long enough that Nartock will not be able to make up this amount of time in the fight. He'll need a death from Asym.
Asym did take a little bit of time there to turn on his flashlight, his little lantern, while Nartock chose not to. Not that big, but it's a little bit of a time save for Nartock.
Asym goes the wrong way at the start.
Time loss.
This is gonna be real close. Actually, Nartock made up a lot of time routing. He's
Yeah, he
5
did.
seconds behind.
From 20 to 5. First one down by Asym.
First one down for Nartock. Oh my god, this is close.
Oh my god, it's so close.
Nartock gets the riposte first.
Oh my god.
And Nartock gets it.
Oh my god.
Are you actually fucking kidding me, dude? What the fuck?
Well, here we got a 7-7 game.
Yeah. That's
brutal.
That was a very brutal snipe.
Now that was a cave for Asym. That was Seathwater. It's Seathwater Cave, right?
Yep.
So Asym just needs one more square here, or one more cave here. Gonna go for the Clean Rot Knight.
Smart. Pair it with a night boss. Go for night bosses. Get a final block on that line, or on that column 4. He does need to worry about this row 1 though.
Yeah.
I know it's a really late game 1, but I mean if Nartock goes for perfume only right here, this will actually be really big because he's setting up Garronk. I think that's what he's doing. Yeah, he just set up Garronk. He's gonna go get perfume only, go kill Garronk, and then it's a Moglord or Blood Race, just like you wanted.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Nartock aggressive with the lines earlier, right? Wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Nartock's weapon was
only +3.
+3, yeah.
Nartock needs the int tier to get the Frenzy Flame bottle online. Looks like he's gonna go get it. This will be Asym's first night boss in his final cave here.
You still get a big damage even without the int tier, right?
I don't think so, no. There is a damage penalty. The only reason it doesn't matter on virgins is because they take flat damage from lightning as extra flat damage, so it's not really doesn't really matter on virgins.
The horse tech? I am a fan of the horse tech, if that's what you're talking about, Nexus.
All right, and that is the final cave there for Asym.
Nicely done.
Asym goes to Erdtree Grazing. This could be another snipe for Nardi. Asym doesn't have the money for the int. Nartock's in the fight. Asym's gonna pivot out, I think. Yeah, Asym's going imbued keys.
I gotta say, Nartock, I feel like has really pulled this back. I really like his positioning right now. Now we could also see him just force Asym into Moog Lord of Blood while he cleans up some other squares, because Asym does have priority on that.
Yeah. But Asym, yeah, because Asym also, Nartock will need, you need to have a Shardbearer dead to get access to Vari's quest line. There's Perfume Bottle
Fucking
only.
asshole, dude.
Asym's not pleased. And we have an 8-8 game. Asym, the only bingo available to Asym at the current moment is the column 4, which is completely irrelevant at this point, because if Asym were to win all of column 4, he would have majority anyways. So effectively, bingos, Asym effectively has no bingos left. Nartock obviously has a massive threat on the row 1. And this could be a Garronk. Nartock's going Garronk here.
Yep. Which is going to be another snipe. And you can, I can't hear what he's saying, but Asym is pissed.
There is a level of crash out that is acceptable to have on stream, and then there is a level where it's like, all right, it's a little much.
He's calling the Garronk snipe. I doubt it would be a +4, because when you kill Magnus, you get a 6.
Yeah, you'd at least get up to +6.
Mm-hmm. It's just a quick run from Falling Star Tunnel to get the 5.
I don't think Nartock goes for it, if I'm being honest.
I don't think he does either. I think he sets it up as like a, hey, you better deal with this.
Nartock gets tagged. Asym is at the Bestial Sanctum, but he's going to need a death from Nartock to be able to contest.
Yep. Big stagger there for Nartock. A big bleed here will pretty much get the kill.
Yeah, one more bleed or stagger, I think, would do it at this point.
Yep. The RNG
Yep,
right
there's the
now.
stagger.
Yep.
And there's Gronk down. So Asym's going to have to pivot.
What do I do? What the fuck do I do here?
I mean, Asym just chased down that line, right? Like,
Yeah.
he just walked into Snipes. His if he really wanted to stop the row one, I think his execution to stop it was poor. I'm not sure if he just wanted the square. Like, he was playing it like he just wanted the squares, but he should have mid-grounded more, I think.
I think Nartock, unless he's going Semshade for the Spirit Ashes.
I mean, he might just
could
be going Radahn.
Radahn. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the Shard Bearer into a bunch of runes that he can use to help him in the Moog fight, which I think is what he's doing.
Oh my god, and Asym jumps off the water wheel too early and dies.
He's crashing out.
Yeah. Yeah, Asym needs to calm himself down.
He does.
Just has to.
And you see the difference here, because Nartock had a really, really rough start and kind of locked in and pulled it back.
Yeah.
Got out of his head. And that ended up getting him to then get Asym in his head.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously, like, he got, Snipes, there's a bit of luck, a lot of skill, right? But, he was able to recenter himself and give himself a chance, right? You got to see the same here from Asym. Especially with game 2, right? Like, if you lose game 1, obviously it sucks. You got to win 2 in a row now, but
Yep.
you have to win the next one. And already I think there was a lot of positives from Asym. I think overall you can argue that he played a better game, but
Yep.
that's how bingo is, right? A few little mistakes can really cost you.
So is Asym just pushing for the majority now, or?
I think so. I think he's just gonna call out, just say, screw it. If you want to kill Lord of Blood, do it.
I mean, it is a good call. He did have priority on Moog, but he didn't want to walk into another snipe, and
Yeah.
he's probably thinking, like, okay, he probably set up the bingo. I am not going to go for it. We know that he is going for it, but he doesn't actually know if he's going to go for it or not.
Yeah, Asym's going Godskin Noble to set himself up for Rykard here and capital access via Sewer Moog. Or capital access for Sewer Moog. Meanwhile, Nartock is just going for Radahn. I mean, given that he's going for Radahn, he very well could just go Lord of Blood.
I think he is, because there's really no other reason to kill Radahn other than I need a Shard Bearer for Moog.
And capital as well, yeah.
Yeah, and capital, but I don't really think Sewer Moog is quite on his radar at the moment.
I would agree with that.
I mean, what better way to instill confidence in yourself and kind of assert your authority than to get a bingo in the first match?
Especially with Sewer Moog, right?
With
real Moog. Yeah, Lord of Blood. Asym's having a lot of trouble there with the rollout, barely survives.
And I mean, we've seen him kind of pushing lines this whole game, so...
Yeah, he's been crazy aggressive.
I mean, I love to see that.
Yeah, the ginger way. All right, Nartock gets Radahn down. Wasn't the cleanest, but it was fast.
think we will see Noble go down here very
Yep,
soon.
and
there it
Asym
is.
gets Noble down.
Big bleed.
Nartock's gonna kill Alexander here for the Warrior Jar Shard.
Let's hit him.
Smart.
Okay, no.
Word of note for the viewers, Alexander does not actually take any damage until he aggroes on you. So doing big moves, charge attacks, and stuff like that is not gonna do anything for you.
Yep.
Okay, so he's setting up seals, Asym is.
Nartock's actually going for Margit now.
You only need one. Or do
Yeah, you only need
two?
one.
Why is he... I guess he's thinking about the capital.
Talisman pouch.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Talisman
Alexander
pouch,
card.
and it sets up potentially Godric for later if you need Sewer Moog. Yeah, that was just for the Talisman pouch.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, Nartock's going for Lord of Blood.
Yeah, Nartock really I'm really impressed because he was really down in the beginning, really
Yeah.
in his head, really just upset about just kind of everything happening, and he locked in and has really come back in this game.
And he gave himself a chance to win this game, right? Like, I mean, being honest, Asym was in a very dominant position at one point.
Very.
And Nartock was able to recenter himself and just give him a chance to win, right?
Yep.
And now Nartock's in a dominant position, right? That's Bingo can swing so much, right? Even you can make a lot of mistakes like Nartock did in one snipe or two, in this case, two snipes or multiple snipes can just swing the game.
Yep.
That's why I commented earlier about how like we saw players in last season's playoff really playing around the snipe. Like a lot of them were making kind of suboptimal plays, right? Not going for the obvious play in order to avoid getting sniped. Both these guys have gone very aggressive, which to be fair, the board also led into that. And, when you're down, you need to go aggressive. But when you're up, you need to go more, you can afford to be slightly suboptimal. If you're up
Kind of do
enough.
a little bit more setup and stuff like that. Really kind of prepare yourself.
But yeah, I mean, Asym's gotten sniped a ton. Exaltation Talisman, Perfume Bottle, Misbegotten Bosses, Garronk. Right? That's four huge snipes.
4 Weeping Bosses, technically. The Misbegotten
a bit,
Bosses,
yeah.
technically.
I mean, Misbegotten Bosses was definitely, like, that was a snipe.
Yeah. And you do see Asym kind of doing a lot of prep here. He set up Rykard. He's setting up the seals. He's starting to set up Capital now. He's probably going to be setting up Lightning Ram as well. He is, I think, hoping to get the majority before Nartock can get the Moog Lord of Blood. But I mean, Nartock's progress into the quest line for Moog Lord of Blood is getting pretty far now.
I mean, it does not take that long, right? We've also made it a bit faster by adding the Grace at the Blood Rose Church, right? It does not take that crazy long. I don't think if Asym is thinking, I'm going to try to get 13 squares before he can kill Moog Lord of Blood, you're praying for an incident. You're not playing for clean play. You're hoping for an incident.
I'm going to be faster than you is not
exactly.
a play here.
You're either hoping for an incident or you're hoping for a half-hearted attempt at it by Nartock, right?
Yep.
If he does hard rush it, you cannot get 13. If he does hard rush it with with proper execution, Asym would be unable to get 13 squares before Nartock could get Lord of Blood.
Yep.
And Nartock is going for Magnus here.
Okay.
Lorian, you are absolutely correct. The lobster incident was it was really bad for Nartok, and he was
Yeah.
really upset about it. But like I said, he pulled it back.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie's joining us for game 2, and she said she was getting ready to go before that incident.
Oh,
What?
Oh, Nartok
Magnus
jumped
can
way
be
too
a
early.
menace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think going for the secondary part of Bloodhound's Fang Asher War against this guy is just not really a good idea.
Aye.
And he does get it down. He'll also get a Somber 6 out of this, and I would imagine he gets a Somber 5 in upgrades.
Yep. I think he already picked up the Somber 5 in Red Main Castle.
Oh, okay, perfect then.
At least I would assume he did. I didn't actually see him, but I would assume that that would be what he did when he went through there.
Yep,
here
there's
he
the
goes.
+6 Bloodhound's Fang. I mean, Nartok's also operating with some confidence here. He did Moog Lord of Blood in his game against Stocko. Obviously, there were a lot of deaths there, but it was a very, he was one shot. I think watching that fight, it looked like to me, if Nartok wasn't one shot, he gets that first try. And Moog Lord of Blood is his favorite boss. He's not going to be one shot here. Does need to be careful, though, because he doesn't have a lot of flasks, and he's going to be taking a lot of damage from the heal. So he will not be able to take many hits, but at least he's not one. Actually, you know what? 8 plus 2 flasks, that's not too bad. That's not horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nartok here is just going to kill Irina, Buddy the Cloth, and go straight for Lord of Blood. And when Asym marks seals here, that's going to give Nartok even more confidence that,
Yep.
all right, I'm not being raced on Lord of Blood. Also, if you're watching this and you want to get into bingo, we'd love to see you in Zero Scratch. Not only do we do bingo there, but we also have a massive randomizer racing event coming up that Ginger is hosting. I'll let him talk more about that before we end here. But if you want to check us out, love to have you, love to join you. If you want people to play Night Rain with, or just people to talk Elden Ring with, and just a great community, it's the place to be.
Yeah. Just to hang out with people in general.
Yeah.
I mean, you've gotten really into Plate Up. I don't think you've been playing it as much, but
No, I haven't been
you were
playing it
quite
as
into it
much
for a
recently.
while.
Nartok
Asym
also
is
grabs the
setting
rock
up
grease
all
here
these
for Lord of
players.
Blood.
I really like what Asym's doing here. He's setting up all these squares, kind of like half finishing them, mostly finishing them, to not give Nartok any information of like, hey, I'm still potentially racing you right now.
Yeah, Nartok has no idea what Asym's doing because neither player has marked a square for the last 14 minutes.
Very nicely done.
Nice job by Asym there. That's his second night boss.
And Nartok is almost into the Moog fight.
Yep. Once Nartok gets into the fight, we are going to go full screen with him. I will keep you updated on what Asym is doing. He'll also be in the small screen, but so we will keep you you can watch it in the small screen, and I'll be calling it out as well. But Nartock will be going for the win here with this Mogul of Blood and taking game 1 of a potential 3 in this set.
Yep.
If he can get it done, which is a big if, right? I know Nartock can do this fight, but under a lot of pressure here, obviously.
Yep.
You know, games on the line, playoffs are on the line.
I think a lot of pressure will be off his chest when he sees the first mark here by Asym.
Yeah. Asym's disguising it well, though.
Mm-hmm. This is his third night boss.
Yep. All right, this is it. Big moment for Nartock. This is for the game to take a 1-0 lead in the set.
Moog.
His favorite
Lord
boss,
of
Moog,
Blood.
Lord of Blood.
Come on, broski.
One of the best fights in the game. Such a
Fucking
wonderful
yourself,
fight.
okay?
I don't like fighting Moog on the stairs here.
He kind of has to be aggressive though, so the rot doesn't run out.
Yep.
Big bleed. Stagger. Narty doesn't get the riposte, and I don't think he's proc rot yet. He is not. There's the rot. Asym's going for his final night boss.
Oh, it's the 5 time.
Narty's into phase 2.
He has 4 flasks left.
Thank you.
Big stun. Big bleed.
A little bit of a distraction there with the mark.
Poise might be resetting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Moog's standing still.
No, don't bug out, bro.
Oh, big. A
This
bleed here
happens.
will
This
finish it
happens,
off.
and but when bosses get into next to a wall, they will bug out. Moog is a big offender of it.
I did
Nartock
it.
takes advantage of it, and he gets a win.
Let's
That's the
go!
game.
How did I win
Wow.
this match?
Beautiful
Fuck that
fight.
lobster. Fuck his family, his grandma, his fucking dead aunt. Fuck that lobster. Okay, game 1. Game 1, baby.
Nartock
Come.
wins game 1 and takes a 1-0 lead in the set.
That was an absolutely amazing game of bingo to watch.
Yeah, that was an awesome game. Again, we will not be bringing the players in for a post-match interview. We're going to give them 15 minutes to go ahead and reset themselves.
I'm honestly blown away by that game. That was just really fun. Really, really fun game to watch.
So
It was
game
tight
2,
city, but
game
Whew.
2 is going to start in 15 minutes, guys. So that we're going to give the player, we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to give the players a minute just to focus themselves, obviously. But I mean, what a way to end it there by Nartock. And I mean, hell of a Mogul to Blood. I mean, he was hitless up until the very
right
end.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was
Very-
one point where he kind of walked into some fire, but
Yeah, I mean, effectively hitless, right?
yeah, effectively hitless almost the entire fight. Absolutely beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it was a great fight and a great game by Nartock.
Mhm.
Like, we saw Asym with the early lead, and Nartock was able to refocus himself while Asym locked into a lot of snipes.
Yep.
It's going to be a big question how Asym responds here, because on one hand, it's like, okay, you had it. You had this guy. Like, you can beat him, right? He was up early. He knows he can beat him. But on the other hand, he, made mistakes that cost him the game. So it's like, which one, he needs to try to focus on the positive of, I was up early. I can beat this guy, and not the negative. But, it's going to be tough for Asym because he knows he had a winning position there.
Honestly, the Exaltation Talisman was the biggest downfall for Asym. He really let that get to him a lot.
Yeah, he was way ahead, and it was just poor routing combined with a slower fight, and Nartock was able to snipe him on it.
Yep. And honestly, I would have loved to see him actually rush Moog Lord of Blood. He had a massive priority on the square. He already had a Great Rune boss down. He had the Church Grace for Vare. Like, he had a massive priority on it, but just chose to try to go for the majority game, like you said, hoping for an incident by Nartock, which just didn't happen for him. I mean, it's a good play. It's just, sadly, it didn't work in his favor this time.
It did not. But yeah, I mean, that was one hell of a game. Going to be very excited here for game number 2, joined by Ellie. We will be taking a short break here, but before we go, I want to say goodbye to Ginger. Ginger, thank you so much for joining me today. You did a great job. It was a hell of a game to call. And you were a huge part of that. Also, if you want to talk about Rando Ring and plug yourself a little bit before we go ahead and take a quick break, you're more than welcome to.
Appreciate you. So yeah, as Hooser said, I am the host of the Rando Ring tournament, which is held out of the same Discord, the Zero Scratch Discord. Again, join the Discord if you guys have not already. We do a lot of really cool stuff in there. But in the Rando Race tournament, the signups are actually live now. You can find all the information in that Discord. And we will be signing up until April 14th is when signups end. And then the tournament will be starting April 22nd. It will be a 2v2 format, meaning that players will be, and it's also in the DLC. And so players will be splitting up their routes, doing different checks, and the goal is to find 10 of the Mesmer shards. You need to find all 10 of them amongst the 2 players, and they can be skewed however it is, but then you need 5 of them to burn the tree and to get into the final fight. Once you beat the final fight, both players will then quit out, and this will be an 8-team format. So if we end up having more than that, we'll do like a playoff run, and then or not a playoff run, a qualifying round.
Yeah.
And then so then it'll be double elimination, which is very much similar to Rando Ring Season 1, and thus like each team will have to
lose twice to be out.
Yeah, you lose twice, you're out. And so you get a lot of like I think it's like something like if you win, I think it's 4 or 5 games in a row, you basically, like, if you get to the finals, like and then you end up not losing. There can be one team that ends up doing exactly that. So great competition there. It's a whole nother thing than bingo, because you're full rando. You leave a lot of it up to luck as well as skill, and then it's also in the DLC. So it's going to be interesting, and a lot of fun to host and see.
Well, it'll be a great event. Anyone is welcome to join on that, even if you are of limited experience. We have rando coaches, just like bingo coaches, who can help you get involved. If you are interested, go ahead and pop into the Discord. We'd love to hear from you. You can try out the format. If you like it, sign up, or just jump right in and sign up now. We'd love to have you. And with that being said, thank you so much, Ginge, and we will be right back for game number 2. Go. Nartock versus Asym, game number 2. If Nartock wins, he will advance to the semifinals, and Asym will be eliminated. If Asym wins, we will have game 3 coming up most likely tomorrow. But here we go. Ellie, center square.
I'm hoping for Valiant Gargoyles.
I will go for Morgott.
Morgott? We're late game hussies, aren't we? Oh, we want us to late game.
It is Draconic Tree Sentinel is the center square. So we will start with looking at early squares on this board. Margit 6 parries is early and was on the board last game. Also, Raya's Hand, not necessarily an early square, but a very valuable one because it allows you to get map progression while getting altus progression while getting a square. Row number 2, we have Ensha consumables only and Drake talismans. Those are all pretty quick. Consumables only also feeds into Drake talismans because you kill Bofa with consumables and get the Flame Drake. Row 3, Millicent Invader is quick and also 2 stat dumps on the board. So it's always interesting when there are 2 stat dumps kind of playing around that. Row number 4, Liurnia boss incans only can be very fast or very slow, depending on what Corrin sells. If it's heal, it can go right away. If it's not, it will sit on the board for a while. And then more, not super fast in row 5, but we do have some capital with gold free there. What do you think about the board, Ellie?
This is a complicated board to read.
I agree.
For a few reasons. There's synergy everywhere. You have lots of space. Altus is important. Kaled is important. Liurnia, Limbus / Academy has places. There's some Stormveil. 1, 2. The squares, the fastest, not fastest per se, the fastest squares obviously consumes. But I actually think consumes is a bait. I think a stronger play is like Market 6 parries because it puts you in a better positionality on the board. But that's like, you always hope for the rush squares to be sort of in good spots or better spots. I guess it blocks some center square stuff. But yeah, this is going to be a complicated board. And I think a hard board for both of them in the sense that they're going to have to be really good at tracking each other's movements. Because it's not going to be clear per se until they start marking squares. Where they are on the map, and that can be obviously, as we saw last game, a pretty scary position to be relying on to see where your opponent is, but as you're figuring things out. So, yeah, it looks like Asym is not. He's not going to go for the shield class.
Yeah, one thing that's also interesting too is like we have some capital squares, right? We have Sewer Mode and Gold Free. We also have squares pointing towards capital with some Remembrance bosses. And like that Draconic too, I think obviously with it being center square, you could see an earlier Draconic leading into like just a capital prep and holding that. And that also makes tracking your opponent a lot harder in regards to capital when you do Draconic early, right? And already difference in starting class and Nartock going with the Marge Shield. Asym just has a torch, but he does have the Divine Beast head, which gives him a ton of extra strength and dex.
Yeah, that's not bad if you want to get like a quick square on the board. My guess is he's doing this because of
Consumables, yeah.
Yeah, I think. I'll be curious if Nartock even challenges it. I have a feeling Nartock may push into Margit quicker. He has a shield, so he can do that pretty quick.
Yeah, that he can.
I don't know. This is tough.
Also, I've never had issues before, but I will say there's a crazy storm that's just started hitting me.
Sure.
So if something goes down, hopefully it's just minor. I'm just prefacing that. I've never had my internet or anything go out like for more than a couple seconds at this new place. Knock on wood, but just wanted to let everybody know.
Sure. Hopefully.
I should be fine. We did a nasty storm the other day with like tornadoes and stuff, and I never lost power or internet or anything, so it should be good, but we'll see.
Is that the one that you refused to listen to my spouse being worried about you? And
no, this one was 2 days ago. It was even worse.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She can hear you. She's watching the game. She's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, so Asym is starting with Roger's Rapier, but if it is in the starting class, it is not the +8 variant. So that is just standard Roger's Rapier.
Standard.
Pretty bad.
And she's in the chat. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's already mad. Yeah, that's good. No,
and I think they're both going for consumes here.
And Nartock's routing is better. Like what they're both trying to avoid is this really cute little animation where you micro stagger your character on landing. And you can actually do that from both the front facing part of first step and the right facing part of first step, but it's faster to do it through the left side, and Nartock did that. Like, look how head he is. Oh, this is
I mean, he's very
If I-
ahead, but also I'm not sure. I have not seen Nartock's stats. I know Asym stats are very good, and yeah, Nartock has to go for Kukris.
That could be the difference, right? That could be the difference maker. That could be the difference maker.
Because now
for
actually
sure.
Asym is slightly ahead, but Nartock does have those Kukris. I know he does have a strat where he can get a bleed right off the start. This is going to be really close.
And I will say that the difference in time between Kukri and non-Kukri timing is a minute. Like or a second, sorry, a second. We're really not talking about a long period of time between the two. Well, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, Asym has fantastic damage. There's the bleed. Yeah, so Nartock throws Kukris first because it bleeds. Oh my god, this is going to be so close.
This actually may come down to who clicks the square first. Like, who has the faster, like...
Asym gets it down first on the board. And Asym gets the square.
Hey, okay, good.
I think that was huge for Asym. That was huge. Getting that after losing game 1, winning that rush square is so important.
No, totally.
It was perfect execution by Nartock. He couldn't have done it any better, honestly.
Yeah,
the extra stats from the Divine Beast head just were the difference, because Asym had some routing mistakes. The fight was clean, but the route was slower. However, it was enough to get it done. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and Asym also got first step. That's a big difference too. Again, I think the only thing I think that I worry about, my hope is that Asym assumes, knowing there's a shield class in, because with the shield Nartock has, you can put parry or storm wall on it, right? So my hope is that Asym sees that and assumes that Nartock didn't get sniped. Nartock is going Margit parries. Otherwise, I think Asym's going to run into a bit of a nasty snipe himself.
Yeah,
but
the shield comes with no skill, but you can put parry on it. It is infusible, but does not come with parry.
He's going to do Millicent Invader.
Yep.
Huh. I think I like this.
I mean, I think I like it too. Also, Asym came into last game, played aggressive, and that's what allowed him to get the lead in the early game. I think you stay the course, right? If aggression worked game 1 and that's your play style, personally, I would not. If I'm an aggressive early game player, I'm going to play this game as an aggressive early game player. I'm not going to switch up because this could be my last game of the season. And if it is, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down playing how I got here, right?
Oh yeah, you got to play swinging. No, I really like this, and I think the big reason I like this is let's assume 6 parries, right? Is Nartock's game plan. He's gonna go. I think he's getting storm wall first, then he'll go grab that. Yeah. You still have good contention on Drake talismans, right? You have 2 out of 4. Like, you have some map positioning. You build a secondary row. You're closer to deck dis faster for Raya's hand, which can be important. Like, there's quite a lot of good reasons to do this play for Asym that aren't bad, and I think recognizing what happened in the early game for Asym is a huge win for him.
And he doesn't have a weapon. I mean, he has a torch, right? He has a torch.
Yeah.
Like, there's not. Yeah, like, this is kind of the only play he can do.
Hey,
right?
It doesn't say kill Margit with 6 riposts. It says kill Margit with 6 parries.
True, very true.
You can do the square without doing any damage. It would be sad, and you'd be probably pretty. Yeah. You don't want to do what I did in my one game and kill a boss with a fucking torch, but.
We do see the Greatsword jacket was Golden Order Greatswords. That is entirely useless.
Yeah. Come on, Nartock, don't be cute. Just grab the wet blade. You're trying to do the gamer strat. Just listen. Just grab and go, okay, big buddy?
All right, we'll go full screen with Asym here for Millicent.
I think Invader Millicent may be one of my favorite squares.
There's a lot of tech to it.
There's a lot of nuance to it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance to it, yeah. That's a very good square. it has impaling thrust, which is actually a great weapon for this.
No, it has
too, 'cause
repeating thrust, which is
Oh, not good.
worse.
Yeah.
All right, nicely done by Asym. He gets it down. We'll go full screen with Nartock here for Margit.
I'm gonna refresh. I'm a little behind, but yeah, good stuff. Good
Alright.
stuff.
1, 2. That's okay, I think.
This is dude. That's some kid.
Yeah, I mean, the long half axe is a good weapon.
Yeah, but I didn't think
Das
it was
Reforce
that
damage is
good.
crazy.
But it's
Konterschießen
it's
hier
cooking.
deswegen. Five. 6.
All right. Those are the parries done.
Asym's doing a roundtable check here.
I think he's
He did get lightning spear, which is a good incant.
Very good.
And
yeah,
we
very
do see the
usable.
Curse Blade Cirques at round table. Nothing else really. Rivers of Blood, Anvil Hammer, nothing great.
Did I
Curse Blade
see?
Cirques is possible though.
Did I see hook claws? Am I crazy? Did I
There
see
were
hook
Raptor
claws?
Talons, yes. There were Raptor Talons.
Those
so
have bleed innate, right?
yes.
I think those aren't bad.
They're a
With
good smithing
smithing
weapon.
12?
Yeah. With
And you have
smithing
smithing
12
12 on the board.
yeah.
Nartock
Yeah.
a good fight on Nartock. Nexus is trolling by suggesting Rivers of Blood with Arcane on the board. Not that you can't use it. The Astral War actually goes pretty ham, but I don't think I care to use it on some of the fights on this board. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, the biggest thing Asym did get at round table though is the lightning spear incant.
Yeah.
That's a very good incant. It does great damage. It's pretty easy to get online. I'm not sure what his faith is, but he might be able to go straight for the Clean Rot Knight in Liurnia. That's what the boss you'd want to do with that lightning spear.
Yeah, and the really good part about that too, who's to your point, is it blocks the diag that Nartock has built.
Mhm.
Right? So it preemptively like accelerates the block as a double threat on column row. As well. So I actually think this is a good early check, and it's actually going to pay dividends for Asym.
Yeah.
Of course, there's RNG with that, right? Like no one can predict that, but the benefit of being the first mover on round table is you get access to those things. So
Yeah, and Asym will get if he does win Liurnia boss incants only, that'll be 3 more blocks for him. So that would put him at 7 of the 12 available bingos would already be blocked if Asym does go ahead and get incants only here.
then I think he could do an avatar. I think it's still better to do the Clean Rot Knight and the Cave. One is you want lake facing cliffs for smithing weapons, and you also I think the avatar could be a long fight.
Yeah. Avatar
But it's synergistic, right? So
yeah.
I get the desire. If someone was like, yeah, this is why, I would be like,
If you've tested it and you know it's good, send it. Obviously, I don't know exactly how much a player like this is very niche knowledge, like a specific incant on on different Liurnia bosses, right? If I was in this spot, I would be saying, you know what? I know that Lightning Spear on Clean Rot Knight works, so I'm just gonna do that. But if you have tested it and you feel confident with the avatar, go for it, 100%.
sure, yeah, I vibe with that. I think that's some good thinking. Because yeah, I mean, realistically, right? Like, it's really gonna be up to you what you want. If you're most comfortable with.
I mean, also it depends on like your logic too in these spots. Like for me personally, if I'm playing any event, any sport or whatever, and my season's on the line, I'm not doing something that I haven't done before, right? Like I'm doing the things that I know work, right? Not
Yes.
unless
yeah,
I
hear what
have
you're saying.
to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna full send something risky
Yeah.
and unknown to you, right? Unless you're very comfortable. Unless you're very comfortable with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Asym here is going to grab the Faith Talisman. That should be enough for him to get the Incant online. Nartock here is a bit ahead on map. Already made it to Academy.
Looks like
Yeah.
Asym is good. With Lake facing close right, this very much
Yeah,
looks like
this
a
is
Clean Rot
Rot,
Knight.
yeah.
And small little bonus thing with Clean Rot Knight is you get the Sword Insignia Talisman, which is
Yep.
like not bad. It's a very decent DPS talisman.
Especially if you end up going Raptor Talons.
Yeah. I mean, any sort of dex or faceting weapon. As long as Asym doesn't use Roger's Rapier this game, I'll be happy.
Yeah. The other thing to consider too with this incants, like this is gonna go fast, right?
Yeah.
Like it's very likely in Asym's mind that Nartock could have also checked Roundtable. So like
Yeah.
you can't even if Earth Avatar is more synergistic, Nartock could be on his ass, right? And if
Yes.
Asym goes Avatar, Nartock goes Clean Rot Knight, Nartock would have hypothetically won the square. Right.
Yeah. At least my guess is Asym is popping some runes to make sure he has the faith
Yeah.
with the talisman. Wise lad. Yeah, I think
One area where I do think Asym, just like watching this, especially seeing like really in depth, I've noticed Asym loses a little bit of time in like menuing and grace sitting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's because he sits more often than Nartock, or if like his just menuing is slower, or whether it's due to actual menuing speed or just a commitment, right?
Yeah.
Like
I know what you're saying.
indecision.
I think it's a bit of indecision and a bit of like worry there. Oh my god, Katie is being so funny in the background. Like, Katie's the best.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it's Asym's girlfriend getting ready for
so
a nice dinner.
I mean,
or
it's
something.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Saturday, so might as well go and have fun. But yeah, I think Asym is just we'll talk about it after. I want to respond to your point, but he's entering the fight, so we'll wait till after. That's some good damage, and folks at home will see that there's a not so much nab.
It'll just stand here and block, and it doesn't really block the lightning damage. You can just chuck.
No,
spells at it.
ideally it would be in the water, because then it gets that reverb damage of the bonus. But this is still fine. This is still plenty serviceable.
Yeah, the Clean Rock can dodge it, but it tends to prefer to block, and it just eats it and dies.
Nice, easy kill for Asym. Well done.
Okay. I think that was heal. It's unlucky. Yeah, that's probably heal.
Interesting. Nartock thinks it's heal.
It very well could have been, right? Like it's
the
honestly
timing.
similar time. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in this board, the Clean Rot Knight's less optimal because you don't get as much map progression as you would going to Revenant. But also that causes so Nartock might have thought that he was at least on map progress ahead of Asym. If he really does think that's heal, then he's like, oh shit, I'm down 3-1 and I'm on level footing map progression wise.
I wonder. Sorry, I'm just taking a second look at this board here. Okay, I was gonna say I don't think Nartock is going to be doing.
You know what?
Precipice,
I've gotta say,
but I was just thinking about Precipice.
Well, I'm thinking about row 1 scary.
Very scary.
Because Margit Parries helps you set up Godric, right? Radahn's Great Rune, obviously that's a Shard Bearer. Both of those lead to Sewer Moog. Raya's Hand is a square that you get while going to Altus, and then you just got to clean up Loretta at some point. That row 1 is very, very scary.
I will say, Asym, my hope that with what Asym does is he sees Raya's Hand and recognizes row 1 especially after last game, and goes for that
Yeah.
next, because he can probably get decked this pretty quickly, and then do a. I mean, he can risk killing. I mean, he doesn't risk killing Bogart, right? That's like you can get the Grace, go kill him after. Grace buy the necklace, right? If you don't think you can kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But a good fist weapon check, right? For a decent weapon option.
And there's great katana there for Nartock. I think he will go smithing. Yep, he's
Of
just gonna
course,
go.
okay.
He's just gonna go to Precipice.
Yeah, that's a good send for Precipice. That's a good pivot
Yeah.
for Nartock.
Great katana is definitely one of the. It's hard to say what's the best smithing weapon, but I know the players love it. Right, there's so many good smithing weapons that it's hard to say which one's the best. I'd probably still say Starfist, but players do love the great katana.
I would say Great Katana is in, like, if I were to make a tier list of weapons, for, like, regarding, like, smithing weapon, I would put Great Katana in, like, my S for sure.
Yeah.
In base game or otherwise. But definitely for this, yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think Starfist is clearly the best. It's just so stupid. And then I think you could argue
Yeah.
a lot of different things after that.
Yeah, I think for me, Starfist, Great Katana, Great Omen Killer Cleaver, off the top of my head, are like 3 that I'm like.
Yeah.
If I'm in a game getting any of these, I am feeling really, really happy about.
Uchi's really, really good. Obviously, just the standard iron balls are really, really good. Great Stars, Rotten Battle Hammer. There's a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
Flamberge.
I actually think Uchi's one of the weaker ones. Not because it's not good, but because it gets outshined by the other katanas a
Yeah.
lot, I think. Not that it's not a good katana. Don't kill me.
Yeah.
Chat.
Any smithing weapon with a good moveset and native status that's not too much of a bear to wield is going to be very, very strong in bingo. Like, that's one of the reasons why we don't make smithing weapons so easy to get online, and why I do prefer them being harder to set up, because, like, good smithing weapons are insane. Like, they're stupid.
Yeah, they're scary. Yeah.
Dual status, good base damage, like, potentially
Yeah.
even a strong Ash of War, depending on your setup.
And I think, I think, like, one of the issues with somber weapons comparatively is that they're obviously they're available, right? Like, right? They're there, but they're not always easy to get.
Yeah.
And they can have a lot of variants. Like, some of them are really good, and some of them are totally unusable dog shit. Like, literally, like, I would rather use a torch than use some of the somber weapons you can pull in a bingo game. Like, there's some of them are just unbearably bad.
I mean, like, the smithing route, I just do think it is very consistent, right? Like, you're almost always going to have, like, something that's solid, right? You might not find Flamberge or, Starfist or whatever, but you're always probably going to have, like, I don't know, some sort of great sword, or like the battle axe, or long haft axe in this case, like something usable, right?
Yes.
Which you cannot guarantee for somber route.
Not at all. Also, I will say, you mentioned it just now, I am a huge Flamberge enjoyer. I think Flamberge is maybe one of my favorite smithing weapons. Has innate bleed, obviously pairs well with Frost, has a good Ash of War, and is stupid simple to get online, right? It's a very accessible weapon. I am a huge Flamberge enjoyer.
Yeah, Asym's gonna need to find a somber weapon. I mean, honestly though, I would strongly consider the Curseblade Cirques here.
I would too. I don't think Asym would. Do you know what I mean by that? What I'm saying? Like, I don't think Asym would, but I get why you're saying that and why I believe you.
Yeah, if anyone's never used the Curseblade Cirques, they do have a decent dex requirement, but they're backhand blades they're not as good as backhand blades overall because they're not infusible, but compared to like the backhand blades, like the standard smithing ones, they have better base damage, they have native bleed, and they're smithing, and they're somber.
Yeah.
So I think it's very viable. It's not a weapon that we've seen very much, but I know, like, based on what I see on paper, I know like, okay, this thing should be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Totally. Okay, so this is good. Asym is going to be at 2 Dectus medallions already with a bit of Liurnia progress in. I actually think Raya's Hand is such an important square. It is worth taking the fast EG teleporter and booking it to Altus and trying to secure it as fast as possible. Because I don't think you really need a weapon. You don't need a weapon to do the square if you have the it's like 1,000 runes to buy the necklace off Bogart, right? So
yeah.
But also, I have to be careful. I was talking about earlier when I say anything slightly less than glazing about Unsheath, because I know all the no hit or the challenge runners are lurking, waiting to harangue somebody for it.
For slander.
Yeah, I'm so mindful.
All right, it looks like Asym is just going straight to doing what you said, just going straight to EG.
Yeah, I just think it's just too important of a block to get, and
yeah.
I
mean, also at that point, it would block 2 more bingos. Nartock would only have 3 bingos left: column 1, column 2, and row 5.
Yeah, and it's especially important because Nartock has shown Cryo on Crucible Knights through Margit, so you have to be really mindful about where you play next for Asym. So yeah, this is good. Again, a really strong early showing from Asym.
Yeah.
Obviously, right, doesn't want to feel like he's a slouch or that he can't compete here, and I think he's showing.
No, I mean he obviously
that.
Everyone can compete here. I mean, my God, if this league was so brutal, anyone who made it to this point can win. The question is just, will you? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really rough. It was a rough league, and for just so folks know, I'm not sure if you and Jinch had time to get into this lore, but I know maybe new set of viewers, game 2, blah blah blah. This is the second time that Asym and Nartock have had to go against each other in a tournament. In the Rookie Rumble, they also played against each other in the playoffs and quarterfinals in particular. So it was also a single elimination best of 3. So, or best of 1. That was a best of 1 or best of 3?
I can't remember. I know the semifinals and finals were best of 3.
Yeah.
The first round might have been best of 1. I can't remember.
Yeah, but oh, and Asym's gonna walk by that I hope he gets the grace and maybe comes back and checks Bella Merchant later. I think Bella Merchant gets unfortunately slept on a lot. And Nartock is getting his last stones for something 12.
Yeah, it was not the best routing on the smithing for the smithing stones for Nartock there. A little slow, faster. But yeah.
But hey, you know what? I get it. You're in playoff mode. This is Pressure City. Like,
he's actually gonna just upgrade the long half axe. I'm really surprised he's not doing great katana. What?
I'm surprised that my disappointment is immeasurable.
I mean, maybe he just is way too far off on the decks. I think he might just be way too far off on the decks and needs this online.
That far? It's 18 decks.
Well, he doesn't have Sword Seal, and I think he was only at 9 decks.
Let me look. I'm just looking to see if there's a universe where you want to go near. You don't actually want to go to Third Church at all for Physic.
Yeah, I think this is the right.
I mean, +5.
It sucks, but I think it's the right call, especially because you don't want to lose the square, right?
Okay, so if you're Asym, are you go moding then for?
Yeah, for Raya's Hand. I'm still in go mode. I'm still in go mode because I know. Oh shit, he's at Makar. That's what smithing +12 tells you at this point in the game. He's at Makar.
Yeah.
And that row 1's so goddamn scary. So yes, I'm in complete go mode for Raya's Hand.
Looks like that's where he's heading to now. He realized, okay, wait. And he ported over to
too much lava.
Liurnia North to get there, so. Yeah, I don't know. This makes me a little nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Gut.
There's Makar down.
Hat er zwängt.
And Zamors.
Okay, that's really good for Nartock in the sense that you can easily pivot to some Moors
Yep.
now, right? That you got the square. You've wasted some money, but like it's actually still not that bad. He's preemptively marking the hut. I get this.
Oh, Asym, please. He's gonna have to kill Boggart.
He has money, doesn't he?
He didn't talk to Raya though. You gotta talk to Raya
Oh.
first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just tells you to piss off. Yeah, you can see it. You just realized he forgot to talk to Raya.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got to go back. You have to. Boggart's very dangerous, and he has no ability. He has realistically no ability to kill him. Nartock does though, and Nartock can also take a much faster route for Raya's hand. Because if you're planning on killing Boggart, pretty much the best way to do it is you actually go from South Academy Gate and you just run straight south, murder Boggart, and then just continue to run straight on to Raya. But Asym has to buy the necklace and is not afforded that luxury.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay, I think this is a misroute though by Nartock. Going to Lascar, I believe, is slower. If you're gonna kill Boggart.
Yeah, and the good thing is Asym should get this first.
Yeah.
Because he has Dectus and he has the lifts, right? So he's really like...
Asym needs this. If he doesn't get this, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't have a weapon. And being under bingo pressure without a weapon, and there's a kill line, and a very obvious kill line on row 1, that'd be disaster. Column one's still stupid dangerous, even if he loses Raya's hand. But if he does, or even if he wins Raya's hand, but if he loses it, it's just too much.
Yeah, because then he has to try and block both threats, and he still has to find time to set up a weapon. Yeah, I'm really disappointed that he didn't. I mean, I hope he goes back and checks Bellum Merchant, like basically anything, right? Like I hope he does anything.
Yeah.
To navigate this scenario a bit, because he's gonna need to.
Nartock just quickly murders Boggart there.
Of course, as is tradition.
Dry leaf arts. But yeah, Asym will get this square, which is good.
I'm a fan of the dry leaf arts, so.
I think he might need to go Cirques at this point. I think you need you need a weapon online. I think you got to just go for Cirques, for Curseblade Cirques.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like you don't have anything else. You need a weapon. Nartock sees the snipe.
I don't think his weapon is upgraded yet, though.
And Nartock calls it. He says, "I don't think his weapon's upgraded." That's really good intuition.
How could it be? Millicent can't consume a Raya's hand in 30 minutes? Like, when would you have? And he knows what the board is like because he's playing it, so he knows what the weapons are, right? I can definitely see how he has a lot of suspicion about the board's strength. Oh, okay, Asym's gonna check.
But there's no good Somber. There's good smithings, but you need Somber. Asym needs Somber.
No, he doesn't. He not really. He can. Great Katana can accomplish 3 avatars, I think, at plus like 7. And he has it.
I go Cirques. I'd go Cirques.
I don't know. I can see his hesitancy. I've not used them either. But I get why you're saying what you're saying with the risk of.
Because Nartock's gonna go for this. Nartock's gonna steamroll this line. Right, like he has a serious threat. You haven't killed anything that requires a weapon. Nartock, I mean, it's really heads up by Nartock, but he's so experienced that he knows, like, hey, Asym might not have a weapon online. I might be free to push this.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Did he buy the Uchi or the...
I'm not sure which one he bought.
think he bought
I mean,
the-
I guess the other option is like you just get Great Katana up to like +4 and
That's
just
what I
run
was
that.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
You can block that row with
Yeah.
a +4. I think what Asym will do, he has EG Grace, so he can get Hoarfrost Stomp really quickly.
Yeah. I mean, if Nartock, because Nartock can go Exaltation and Avatars right after, and I mean, 3 Crucible Knights sucks. It sucks. Asym needs to get online here now.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, but I did say that it was a bit of a bait going for consume only.
Yeah.
But I said that I think that's actually going to be a potential issue in the sense that, like, I think his positionality is just so much worse than Margit parries, that you put yourself in actually a pretty bad spot.
And there's Hand Axe for Asym.
That's just hot garbage.
Yeah. Nartock, you're going for Exaltation.
Yeah.
More damage than Lord's thing. Not needed enough. Yes. Stamina.
Alright, Asym looks like he's gonna check Mistwood Merchant.
Okay.
This is very reminiscent of, I don't know if you remember the like Snowy Stocko game to determine Golden Order.
Yeah. Vikes War Spear.
This fucking seed, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I mean,
reminds
he's
me of
going
that.
Beach Merchant now. Like, he's just going desperate. That's why that's why I was yelling Sorks or Smithing Plus. You just need something and kill something. Like, you can
he
figure
has
out.
Great Katana, right?
Yeah.
I don't agree with this idea that him not going Great Katana for me feels like a little bit of I'll call it a significant mistake. I'll say it. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's a big mistake.
I mean, I agree because
Not
I
go
think
Great
he's
Katana.
under such significant pressure with this column 1, that, like, obviously you want to get your weapon fully set up, but in this situation, like, just fuck it, like, get something that can kill and get a block.
Yeah, you gotta go. Like
Yeah.
you just gotta go. You don't have time. He's just getting the decks for Great Katana. And he has
I'm
He
not
has
sure what
Source
he's
Seal.
doing. Yeah.
he's gonna kill Yura for another check.
I mean, if he gets this block, he's in a very strong spot. But, like, and you can set up your stuff later, right? Like, you can finish your weapon setup later. You need this block. Oh God! And using Roger's rapier.
I think
Why is he not using Great Katana?
I don't know anymore. Certainly with the Lion's Helm and
Sword Seal.
Source Seal, he has enough to do it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty flabbergasted.
I mean, I think he has 20/20 strength and dex. Did he not buy it?
That is also would be crazy if he didn't buy it either. To me, anyway. Like,
And because at the very least, it's an upgrade over Roger's rapier. This thing's awful. Even when it's +8, it sucks. I'd use a +0 Great Katana over this thing at +8. It's
Yeah.
that bad.
yeah, no, totally. I think Strump is crashing it, but Anvil's Hammer, Strump, until you're a game, I don't think anybody understood Anvil's Hammer being a weapon that you can use. So I think that's fair that he doesn't
Give
really
him
think
some.
about it
Oh
right
my
now.
God! It's Serpent Bone.
Okay, go buy the Great Katana, man. If he says Weapon Seed, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, I think I'll lose my mind if he says something like weapon diff or weapon seed or something, because this has nothing to do with that. This game
Yeah.
has nothing to do with
I mean,
weapon
like, he
seed
has
diff
option. Like,
anymore.
obviously, it's unfortunate, right? But, like...
Nartock is using long haft axe.
Well, we were also
of
talking
all
about it
things.
earlier. Like, the smithing route is so consistent, right?
Yeah.
And
He
Nartock
has
here's going
options
for
for
Grail
it.
without status effects already. Asym's going to do another katana check here in Kaled.
Yeah, that's a good point. Weapon seeds can really feel feast or famine that way.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so like when I played, I hate smithing, right? Like I tended to not do smithing. Granted, I also played at a time when like the meta wasn't super developed when I was like doing a lot of practice, right? This was before the season. But like, I will say, if you're a somber Andy, you need to be willing to use like a C tier weapon. Like you just need to be prepared for that.
What was that katana in that chest?
Rivers of Blood.
That is.
By the Surgs.
Yeah. Maybe he finally is.
He's going is he going Anvil Hammer? Oh, and Nartock dies. Just get the fucking circle. I mean, Nartock's dying, which is good.
I don't think Asym understands how bailed out he is
Yeah.
by Nartock not just slamming avatars right now.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
We could be calling this game soon again.
Yeah.
If Nartock just sends avatars. And Asym is being...
There was Commander standard there too, like which is usable. Like it's bad, but it works, right?
I would use it over everything else I just witnessed happening in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is a huge mistake. Like he's getting bailed though.
He's getting bailed by two things. He's getting bailed by the fact that Nartock is not going to push the line right now, opting to do a different square. And he's also being bailed out by the death.
100%.
No, you're good. I'm just thinking about it's the one saving grace I suppose that Nexus had this game is that he got Volcano Manor and Millicent, so he's putting pressure. They're playing like column chicken, basically. Bingo chicken. And Nartock respects his more. And this also synergizes into status effects, or stat dump squares like 30 Faith. So like, this could be a 2-for-1 square. You can actually block 2 threats with 30 Arcane.
Can't hit Grail, Mama Grail too much or she will get frosted.
Yeah, I'm sorry folks, I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out.
Yeah. I hit the other guy. Like, bro. Can you please play along? Do an attack that's good for me, like the flying attack?
Oh, Strump, you could have had so much more than
No,
that.
not that attack.
You could have had the world. But instead, here we are.
Nice. Good.
And Asym is going for the Putrid Avatar here.
What's that damage like?
It's not bad. Like it's doable. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like if you're just gonna be committed to Sombra weapons, you need to be willing to like accepting of the fact that like you can lose. You're gonna have to use something like Commander Standard. That was something that Alex Souls, who won last season, was very, very good at. Like he would see seeds and he'd see like Flowerstone Gavel early, and he'd just say, "Screw it,
Whatever,
I'm using
sure.
Flowerstone Gavel. If I find something better, I can always switch, right? Because like you're
Right.
not, but like I'm gonna use this now, right?
Right.
Like if you need a weapon, you find something that's like C tier and usable, he'd just pick it up, run with it, and he goes down to the Avatar.
Oh, big buddy.
Should be enough.
Big buddy.
Rail.
B tier? No, it's B tier if you get the square. The arcane square. It's not B tier because arcane's on the board.
I mean,
It's
at
B
the end of
tier
the
if
day,
you also
the tier,
get the stat dump.
the tiers and how good something is. Like I think we're getting too. We're kind of missing the trees for the forest for the trees right now.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, the point is like Asym should have just committed to something usable
Of course.
earlier, rather than messing about. Like he had a lot of different options, right? None of them being great, but he should have just picked one, right? A lot earlier.
Yeah. Can't believe Nexus is somehow in Storm Park gaslighting people into this Rivers of Blood propaganda.
I mean, the good news is he can still save this because he is down. He's down 4-5, but no way Nartock's getting the second stat dump. So it's effectively 5-5, right?
Yeah. Rivers of Blood is propaganda. Anvil Hammer's not. I think Anvil Hammer would have been a better choice than anything Asym did this game.
And I think Nartock is just going to go for Draconic.
Why not, right? Center square. Set you up nicely.
Yeah, and it preps you later for, as we did, there are 2 capital squares on this board in Sewer Moog and Goldfree. If this game goes late, it's very likely it will come down to capital. One thing. Oh no, Asym. That's brutal.
I am going to be kind because I like Asym a lot, but he's definitely tilting the piss out of this game.
Yeah.
And I can tell because he has a shit-eating grin when he shouldn't have one.
Yeah.
During moments like that.
Yeah.
Like he is, and he's like concussing percenting a fucking avatar.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like Nartock's just chilling, right?
Yeah. Despite being behind, again, Nartock was
Yeah.
down like 4-ish squares early, and is still here, right?
Yeah.
Still coming back. Asym looks like he's more in like a defeated sort of space, unfortunately. There's another death tune. He's gonna fucking try it again.
I mean,
the crazy
it is
part about this too is he doesn't even need this avatar. If he wants to
Yeah.
get the block, he can go kill the other avatars.
Yeah, I mean, also it's unfortunate, but like to be fair, like Bingo's a different game in the playoffs, right? Like
Yeah.
playing these best of 3 sets, and being able to, in a best of 3 set, like you're against great players. Not everything's always going to go your way, right? You're not going to steamroll these guys. Being able to bounce back from mistakes and stay mentally strong is a huge part of playoff bingo. It's why it's different. It's why it's special. And it's something that's Nartock is very good at. That's why he plays better in the playoffs, right? He has a very strong self-belief and,
Yeah,
even when he
play with
makes
confidence.
mistakes, yeah, he still bets on himself, right? I mean, also, like, Nartock has experience with this, too. He was a very high-level League of Legends player. I don't think he, not professional or anything, but very, very high level, has competed before. Like, that sort of stuff matters in this situation.
A ton. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether it was an esport or if you were, like, a, you know, high-level athlete, like in high school or something. Just having experience in these high-pressure situations and being able to have a short-term memory is huge.
Yeah, I don't know. I did say the thing, I think you're maybe biling for a second, but I did say the one thing I'm nervous with this game is Asym tilting.
Yeah.
Like, I think the one thing that could get him was this. And yeah, I mean, I was right to be nervous. I think this is a part of what we're seeing.
Yeah, which is like, it's unfortunate, but like that's playoffs, right? That's like how it goes.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
an additional element to the game that you don't get tested on during the regular season.
Good.
No, what sorry folks, I know we're sort of lamenting here, but what a great fight for
Yeah.
for Nartock. Don't want to take
Yeah, that
away
was
from him.
textbook. Also using
That
the
was a
little
beautiful fight.
the jumping over the shield swipes.
It's fun to do.
Clean.
I've been practicing with it. It's actually a very fun way to play. That's good. It's just good. But
And
yeah,
at this
man.
point, like, Nartock could push the bingo, but like he's up 2. He has priority on capital stuff. Like, there's still, and I think he's gonna just look to clean up early scores. Like, Encha's still on the board, Loretta's still on the board, 2 Bellbearing Hunters is still on the board, Clean Rat Knight Duo is still on the board, Future Crystallian Trio still on the board, 2 Tree Spirits. Yeah, there's a lot that he can just pick up quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so in also in regards to playoffs, so tomorrow we will be back at noon, so 4 hours before this one, for game 1 and 2 of Stocko versus Helios. Also, I did see some questions before the match about like who plays who. It's because of the way it's cross division, it's a little complex. It's hard to know exactly who's going to play who until we know who's going through. Just because of the way that it works. Basically, if 4 people in one division get through, one plays 4, that's easy. If 3 players in one division, then the top seed in the division with 3 will play the bottom seed in the division of 3, and the middle seed will go across division. And then if it's 2 and 2, then highest remaining recusant plays lowest remaining red main, and vice versa. But because of that, there's a lot of possibilities. And we're not going to really be able to say like this is what the sets, who's Nartock's going to play for sure, or like the winner of what game he's going to play until we get more results in.
Yes.
So Nartock gets Ensha down.
And again, like the thing about this that's unfortunate is, Asym could have had avatars quickly if he doesn't muck about in the Dragon Barrel one. If he goes Weeping, double Liurnia, that square's done, bro's blocked. Go play your game, right? Go grab other squares. He spent like what was better of 10 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, I think we gotta just obviously. I mean, we're friends with Ellie and I are both good friends with everyone.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate to like see this mistake happen, right? But like especially it's hard for us. Like if you want to see someone lose, you want it to be because they played their best and it wasn't enough, not because they made a mistake. But at this point, that's what the game state is. Asym's behind. It's still very playable, but he's got to make something happen.
Yeah, I also want to be really mindful too. Like I'm playing with Asym, in the upcoming Rando Ring tournament. Like he's my 2v2 partner. Nothing I'm saying today has anything to do about like, I'm more I think saddened by Just the showing. I think Asym can play so obviously so much better.
Mhm.
He's just having a really, really hard game. And I think the tilt was something that is big on that
Yeah, it
front,
was a big
but
factor for sure.
yeah.
But look, I mean, he
Buddy.
can recover this, right? Like
Yeah,
Nartok
nothing's over yet.
is continuing to go for squares. If Asym can get avatars down, kind of get his head back into it, and make something happen. He makes something happen here.
Totally. No, there's lots of room to play still that way.
And also, like, I don't think what we're talking about enough is Nartok is showing why was 6-0 in playoffs in Rookie Rumble against, and he played Asym, Nexus, and Snowy, the 2 Golden Order playoff players and the #1 seed in the Crucible, right? Like, he played fantastic players, beat them all 6-0 or beat them all 2-0 in the Rookie Rumble playoffs. Like, he's showing how he's able to elevate his game to another level when it comes time to the playoffs, and we're just seeing it in real time.
Yeah, and I think one thing to highlight too is that when Asym or Nartok lost to Shura, and who else? Nexus. So in the regular season
no,
of this
Shura
tournament,
and you.
me, huh? You're right.
Yeah.
I beat him. That's funny. Never mind. What I was gonna say is totally irrelevant. I was gonna talk about how the people he's lost to are in playoffs, but that doesn't actually count fully because
I mean, Hal, you're essentially a playoff player, right? Like you have the
Pretty
same
close.
record. You missed out on playoffs on a tiebreaker, right? Like
Yeah.
You,
So
you were 5-3. You were an incredible player, right?
the point
Yeah.
is that Nartok has lost to 2 people who are one. I was maybe as who's saying in contention, but Shura, who is for many of us a strong showing, to be one of the higher playoff performers, right? So,
Yeah.
Nartok's losses haven't come about easily. Is all I'm saying. He's had to play some hard games.
Yeah, and I'm speaking also, Asym is back with the Putrid Avatar on the right, Nartok going for Clean Rot Duo. But yeah, speaking of Shura, I'm very excited to see. We have the youth versus inexperienced, Rambler versus Shura. That set will start on Monday. I'm very excited for that one. I think that'll be really fun. It's a great matchup.
Yeah, I think Shura's feeling a little nervous about that one. I have insider knowledge that he's a little
I
ski
mean,
up.
Rambler's dangerous. Last season in the playoffs, right? Rambler shows up, has historically, at least in Elden Squares, shown up in the playoffs, right? He's never finished lower than 3rd, I think, in an event. Did he finish? No, fourth, right? He's always made at least the semifinals in every event he's competed in. Last season he beat Dino, who Dino was a higher seed coming in, and Rambler got the win. So, he did sneak into the playoffs here, but he's here and not someone you want to run up against.
No. Oh, Asym.
Yeah, because Rambler's previous bingo results, he finished 2nd in. Yeah, actually, I think Rambler. The only times Rambler has lost in the playoffs has always been to the eventual champion. Actually, discounting the 3rd place game against Ra, every time he's been eliminated has been to the eventual champion. Because he lost to. In the finals of the Elden Squares before we even had a season, he lost in the semifinals to Zeno, who won, and then he won the 3rd place game. Then he competed in the Zoodle Cup. He finished 2nd, lost to Ra. In Elden Squares Season 1, he lost to Alex in the semifinals and was actually the only player to beat, him and Helios were the only 2 players to beat Alex all season. That was a 3-game set. And then he did lose to Ra in the 3rd place game. And then he also competed in the Bingo Club Open, and he finished 2nd in that event, right?
So quite a decorated player.
Yeah,
that way,
very Rambler. He hasn't gotten the job done yet, but Rambler has a very high pedigree of excellence. And Limgrave locked. He also finished 2nd in that one.
Truly the Ramble goat.
Yeah.
As he is lovingly referred to.
Nartock here is
Nartock
going
is-
for his first Tree Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Nartock is, I think, just looking to go Tree Spirits to shut down the board. You know, give Asym no chance of bingo, and then it's pick your poison, right?
Yeah, play a solid majority game, right? Like
Yeah.
do a Dawn for another Great Ruin. They set up Capital. Take some Prio on Drake Talismans if you want it, 'cause they both have them, right? So you could take some of that Prio and finish that.
He has the Grace outside of Loretta. Like, he has plenty of options.
Yeah.
You have Altus, you can just run around and pick up Sacred Tears if you want, right?
Well, it's Sacred Flask.
Or
plus
Sacred
5,
Flask,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's Sweeping.
I mean, still, even so, like, the one in Altus by Highway Junction, the Eleonora Church, is actually really nice.
It's very nice, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can just go, like, top Spellum, Third Church, Church of the Plague, and Altus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have to go Weeping if you don't want to. Nartock gets hit hard, but survives on 1.
Holy moly. ER tool, hello. That was a joke.
It was a joke. Yeah, the only person who actually uses ER tool is Chris.
Well, and
That was
Shura.
also a joke. That was also a joke.
Definitely Shura. But no ER tool here.
Come on, Asym. One more hit. All right, Asym gets the avatars down.
Yay!
Nice job by Asym. Nice job.
Very good. We're done with the avatars now. You can put them to
Alright.
bed.
Nartock does fire back with Tree Spirits, but Asym also gets 30 Faith.
Okay.
Does that avatar, does that Tree Spirit drop a dagger?
No? Maybe?
Nartock just got Reduvia somehow.
I don't know.
Did it kill a soldier that chance dropped? It was okay. Chance dropped from one of the guys, from one of the soldiers. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. All right, looks like they might both be going Radon now. Or actually, no, I think. Nope. Is Nartock? I thought he was going to go to Church of the Plague to pick up a Sacred Tear. Or look at Crystallian Trio. Nartock doesn't really have any bingo threats. Like, he could technically bingo on the bottom row, but if he was to do so, that would also be 13 squares, so it doesn't matter. Like, for at the end of the day, Nartock needs to get 4 squares before Asym can get 13. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like Nartock's going to just go Drake Talismans here.
Makes sense, right? Catch
Yeah.
on your prio there.
I mean, this is a square that oftentimes goes within the first 15 to 20 minutes, right? It's on the board an hour in. Snag it. You're set
Yeah,
up.
I think. Yeah, I mean, you can afford like the power of being ahead this much is that you can afford, not that you want to be, but to be sniped, right? Like in a worst case scenario, if you get sniped here, you're not that far off from being in this. You're still in a good spot. Like, you're still in a good spot.
And you can also play in a way by preparing multiple squares to basically give yourself insurance for, like, if I do get sniped, right? Say, like, okay, it's because if you play chess, right, like, one of the principles of chess is, like, if you're up on material, like, you have more pieces than your opponent, then trade, right?
Yeah,
Like, trade
exactly.
pieces down.
Because every trade is advantageous for you compared to your opponent, where it's not.
It's the same thing applies here, right? Nartock is completely fine with both of them getting 1 square, right? Because then Nartock's only 3 away, while Asym's, that'd be 6 away, right?
Very true. Very true. You a big chess player? Use?
I like turn-based strategy games. I've dabbled
Of
in
course.
chess. I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Okay.
I'm normally,
okay.
I consider myself a decently smart dude. Like so
Yeah, you
many
are.
like most strategy games and stuff like that I'm pretty good at. Chess, my like positional awareness is really bad. Like
Yeah.
I have a lot of trouble like visualizing the board, and like I'll just miss things. So I do struggle with chess a lot, and it makes me feel stupid because I love it. I think it's a great game, but it makes me feel so dumb because so often like chess is like a lot of people like equate chess with intelligence. Right. That's
Yeah, and I think there's
like
like
considering
an
I'm
ego.
like it's a type of intelligence, right? Like,
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
definitely glazed as like
Yeah.
like the smartest people. I mean, you have to be intelligent
Yeah.
to play chess. You have to be intelligent to do a lot of things,
Yeah.
and from an aptitude perspective, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't think you're dumb because you're not good at chess.
No, yeah. I mean, like with most things that are, I guess you'd say like battles of the mind, like I tend to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
pretty well.
Of
In
course.
chess, compared to players with similar experience, I'm average at best. Right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So like I love it. I love watching chess and actually stay up to date with it, but not as good as I would like to be for sure. Asym is going for Radon here though. We'll go full screen with him.
Woo-wee, woo-wee.
My dagger. I just started actually playing Slay the Spire. It's a real hard game, but it's fun. It's fun.
I mean, if this is a snipe, like, if this is a snipe, it would be like this is what Asym needs. Like, he just needs snipes to get himself back in. Right.
The problem. I'm assuming you're referring to the idea of the restore, right?
Yeah, like the restore, but the problem is like still it makes progress towards capital for Nartock.
Yeah. The problem. Asym's not gonna. Nartock, I don't think gives a damn if Asym gets restored. Nartock just needs great runes.
Yeah.
Like I think that's.
I mean,
the
he's
problem.
not. He won't love it, but like it's not the end of the. It's not. That
No,
bad.
like if he's gonna be very okay. Like I think honestly, Nartok needs 3 squares, right?
Yeah.
You get 2 of those squares in capital. Send. I mean, you can send Future Trio, Bellevue. There's a lot of the good thing that Nartok has going for him is actually a lot of places he can split progress in a meaningful way, where it allows him to. What's the word I'm looking for? It allows him to not get destroyed with snipes, right? Like he can kill like a bell bearing hunter here. He actually Loretta's Grace. He could push into Loretta. Like he has a lot of ways to like play around this game where he's going to be okay. That yeah, I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine with all the things here happening for him. SFPP11 asks, is it not harder to kill? We're done with the summons.
It depends.
It very depends. I think some weapons are really nice with the summons. I'm thinking of Death Poker, Frost Affinity weapons, because Okina with Blood Flame Blade will reset the Frost procs for you. Some people find it harder to like get in. He gets in the way. The summons get in the way for people. I've never really found that too much of an issue. But yeah, I think it's really up to player preference in a lot of ways. I'm a big summons enjoyer, but
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it
just
is
me.
ultimately faster. Like, it's just you have
more
to deal,
damage, right?
Like it has the potential to be faster. It's more damage. It's more stance
Yeah.
build up. Like, you also can have issues like with his targeting, right? Like where he can like randomly target you and you're not expecting it, or like you're not in the right position for a punish, right? So I think it is more volatile, but it does have the opportunity to be better, and does also just come down to preference, right? Like
Yeah, totally.
Bingo's
Sorry,
not quite at the point where it's like everything has to be perfect. It's not there,
Away
right?
from the
So
boys.
if you're
Boys,
if you don't
get
like
outta
to
here.
summon, you're 5 seconds slower or whatever. As long as you're not dying, like that's
Don't
the
come at
biggest
my
thing.
boys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the biggest thing you can do is die. That's the thing you want to definitely avoid. Okay, I'm really digging the weapon Nartock's using.
Yeah, long attack is good.
Like,
I mean, it's a great axe.
yeah.
And I think it has decently high base damage. I actually think the base damage is higher than.
Oi! That was who was that?
I
Who-
think
who
the
said
base
it?
damage might be higher than
Alex?
Omen Killer Cleaver.
I think it was Alex.
It just doesn't have bleed, obviously.
Mm,
And it has really nice range. Like it is a long half axe. I'm jealous.
Jesus. Jesus Christ. I had to hear that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hear that. Okay, well, we're here, so.
Yeah, we're here.
Can't turn that back.
Nope.
Anyway, back to the game. So, how does Asym come back? Like,
I mean, you just gotta get. I
I don't
unfortunately,
think that's that
you're-
weapon in like a facetious way. I genuinely mean like, how does Asym claw back from a player who's just playing this way?
I honestly think when you're in this spot, like it's pretty obvious that like Nartock has capital potential, right?
Yeah.
I think what you do here is you just get squares. Like you just get squares, right? You try to go for what you think could be a snipe. Like there's not a clear line that gets you back into this game. You're hoping
Sure.
for advantageous snipes and, you know, a bit of a misplay from Nartock, and you need to put yourself in the right position to do so. Like we saw Nartock do that in the last game, right? Like he was down, but put himself in position to get snipes. So it's not like you obviously do this or obviously do that, but it's, you know, just as simple as, you know, keep playing and play well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not giving up either, right? Not like
Yeah.
counting yourself out yet.
Yeah.
Big two.
And be aggressive, right? Like if you think something's the best play on the board, you go for it. Like
Yeah, whether you think you're ahead or
you're
not, you
down
just
too
gotta do
much to
it.
be passive. You can't mid ground and be passive. Like if you see a play and you say, okay, I strongly believe this is the best play, you go for it. If you get sniped, whatever, right? Like you're down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if you get it, great.
Totally. Yeah, I think so. I think, like, there's no harm in going for risks now, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna lose any more than you already are by trying to play a little more aggressive or do this or that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Asym. I definitely think he just has to keep pushing his hardest. And he does he have Anvil Hammer now? I guess he got.
Yeah, I
30
guess he's
face,
switching
right?
to Anvil Hammer, yeah. I mean, Nartock can also just clean this up in Capital, because he can do gold-free Crucible Knight sewer mode.
I forget there's a. You're right. I do forget that there is a.
There's 2 Crucible Knights in Capital.
I know the
One of which
by the ruin.
There's one in that room when you first do the skip, right?
Yeah.
And there's another one by the drop down before you get to Bolt of Grand Sax. So actually, it's past gold-free.
Oh, I haven't done that in a long time. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have to know that. That'd be a little obscure.
You
for
just
me.
walk. You'd see it. It's
Okay.
You just the other, like, so you enter in the gold free arena from like a side door, right?
Yes.
If you're coming into the door, like you go into the room, like your back is to the gate where you entered in.
Yes.
If you normally turn to your right to go up to Morgott, right?
You turn the other way?
Very clean full send capital skip there by Nartock. You go
Beautiful.
left. You go left.
Okay.
And you go out the
Okay.
door there. You can't miss
Nice.
it.
Well, I can probably. Don't underestimate what I can't miss. Okay, but
Yeah.
I get your
It's
point.
near an incant scarab. I guess it's barrier
Oh,
of gold.
very cool. Very cool. Look at all the tidbits of lore we're learning today, friends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can get to that one without killing Godfrey, so obviously it's very niche. This is one of the situations where it will come into play. But that's also a part of bingo, like just having really good game knowledge, because so often there are times where just a random niche thing does come into play. So just knowing a lot about Elden Ring and having good game knowledge is massive, right?
I mean, if the question is like, do we think that it's faster to do 2 Capital Crucible Knights, or the one, maybe do one of them and then one in Stormvale and one in like the one in Lyria or Limgrave, sorry.
Don't know the scaling. I mean, I think honestly you can just go for the 2 one. I think you can go for 2 capital ones and be fine.
Especially because you have to kill Goldfrey anyway. I think if Goldfrey obviously wasn't on the board, this one wouldn't be a conversation.
Okay, according to Vaughn from YouTube, there is a skip that you can do there before Godfrey, but apparently it's difficult. So
it's a nightmare. It's a nightmarishly hard skip. If I remember that one correctly. It's like a really shitty one that I don't think most people know. I don't know if anybody in bingo who knows how to do it.
Yeah, it's not worth learning for bingo in that case, right? It's such a niche circumstance that probably is like maybe optimal by a few seconds because you have other options.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, Asym does have the anvil hammer, +5.
There we go. Rock and roll.
Trump rejoices.
Trump weeps that it took so long, but
and Asym just straight up discards the commander standard for good measure.
That's good. I like that. I have a feeling, and it's not a good one, but I have a feeling when Asym sees Godfrey marked, he's going to feel like the game is pretty over.
Yeah.
Counting squares.
All right, here's Godfrey for Nardi.
I'll be scrutinizing this fight a bit on my brain because it's one of my favorites.
Looks like Asym here is going for Renala.
Yeah, Nartock doing this fight very textbook, very clean.
Yeah, very good fight by Nardi. And there's Godfrey down.
Yeah.
I wonder if he goes sewer mode now or Crucibles. But regardless, it looks like Nartock will probably, most likely, unless something crazy happens, will be the first of 4 semifinalists. And I mean, very impressive, right? There's so many great players who, like to make it in the final 4 of this field is insane. Massive props to Nartock, and like obviously for him, job's not done, right? He's got 4 more games, 2 more sets to win. And it's been a hell of a season from Asym. He's played very well. He 3 seed in his division. Obviously, look, I mean for every player but one, the season ends in disappointment, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the unfortunate nature of sports. But he should be proud of how he's done. He's put in a lot of work to make it this far and done a great job. And I mean, we're all very proud of him and everything that he's put into bingo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we knew this was going to be a hard game, not because it's Asym, but because it's Nartock too, and they're both such good players. Like,
Yeah.
both of them are going to have to play well to be here, and yeah, and they both have shown that have played really good bingo historically, and Asym's first game was really good. I think this game was a little bit rougher for him, but nothing to be disappointed about. They both did well.
No.
Yeah, and then we get to see Asym and I play Rando Ring, which I'm like his therapy coach for that league.
Can we just get a broadcast that we can turn into of you being Asym's therapist mid match?
I mean, we both have to stream on Twitch. So
Yeah,
you turn to any one of our streams, you'll see it.
Yeah.
It'll be there. It'll be there. No, but I love playing with Asym in those games, and we have a lot of fun, and he's a good guy.
No, there's no bingo. There's no squares. It's a randomizer race. Like you're racing to complete a seed DLC any percent. So there's no bingo squares. It's just it's a speedrun race, a randomized speedrun race. All right, this will be Renala down for Asym.
Good fight.
Nicely done. And we're about to see Suramok here from Nardi. I think Asym's going to go restore Radon's Great Rune.
Hey, Moog again. What's up, Moog? I murdered the better version of you already.
You know what? I sometimes find this Moog more challenging than real Moog, because you can't status him.
Yeah.
And he spams that shitty anti-melee bullshit all the time.
You mean the rain of fire? The fire.
I said
rain?
I called it what I called it.
Okay.
Anti-melee bullshit. It's insane. It's not good. It's not good. Not okay.
My hitless. The throwing
But
dagger.
yeah, the rain of fire.
Want to give up poise.
No, we have to explain to people what Ringus is.
Yeah.
Dear.
All right, looks like Asym's actually pivoting to Pruder Crystallian Trio, which, to be fair, Nartock's going to have to find a 13th square here.
Yeah. I mean, Asym doesn't know, right? Like what square he's looking at.
Yeah.
And trying to figure. He's just trying to do what he can.
Sorry, broski.
I mean, honestly, the Suramok's fight's taking damn near as long as his Lord of Blood did last game.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He's
Like,
immune to status, yeah.
there's nothing about this. There's nothing about this boss that isn't tanky. This boss is tanky and shit that way. But it's going well. Again, Nartock is very experienced.
Yeah, Moog's his favorite boss.
Yeah. Understandable. It's a very good one.
All right, so there's Suramok down for Nardi. Yeah, Nartock just needs one more square. I think he's going Bellbearing Hunters.
I mean, at this point, he can really do
Yeah.
like a bunch of prep, right? So what he can do is he can get some, kill this one. You saw Renalis, maybe you don't do both of them.
I mean, you can also just do the Altus Bellbearing Hunter. He has a grace for it.
That's very true. You're so smart and wise.
It's almost like I called bingo for basically a living at this point. Yes, if Asym loses, he is out. The way playoffs work, if you lose in the quarterfinals, you're done. If you lose in the semis, you will play in the third place match. And obviously, if you lose in the finals, well, it's the finals.
Ow!
And no more Bingus then.
Ow! You need to stop.
All right, Asym will get this down. Nartock doing his Bellbearing Hunter.
It is a bummer, and like I said, all of my feedback and my vocalization about Asym's play comes from a place of care. We're really good friends, and I really like Asym and rather him do well. But I'm also friends with Nartock, right? So this is a really sad, this is a sad game to have happen because we all knew as friends that this was gonna be like one of them had to be eliminated. And honestly, who we're blaming is Nexus, because if Nexus just fixed his computer properly.
Well, then Asym would have played Nexus, and we would have been the same. I mean, honestly, like at this point, like with the 8, like I mean, everyone in this league is obviously some people closer than others, but like everyone in this league is friendly, is for our friends, right? Like, unfortunately, no matter how who goes out, right, it's gonna be sad, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But not a bad Crucible Knight option for Asym, but looks like Nartock is grabbing this Bellbearing Hunter, which is going to be his last square. Getting this set up now.
And Nartock will advance to the semifinals. We'll wait to see who he plays, but most likely it will. I think it's very likely that he will either be playing Helios. Most likely he'll probably be playing Helios or Strum.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Of course, you know who I'm voting for. Nartock is my number 1. So. Well, Nexus is actually like. Anyway, this is over soon, so I'll make sure to keep quiet once this grows mark. But yeah, I'm rooting for the good old guys for this one.
Oh. That's it.
And that will do it.
GG's.
GG's to Nartock.
It had to be Asym again.
Yeah. And I mean, you can hear even Nartock's
Yeah, it is what it
disappointed.
is. I feel good about this win. I had 1 death. The other win also not too bad. I crawled it back, but just there's like a sting to it. Winning here, beating out my friend. Well, I'll give them hell for you, Asym. I'll fuck everyone up again.
That's a hard lead
like
that
last
way.
time. I'll fuck every single person up again.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you could hear it. Obviously, Nartock and Asym, very good friends. You could hear it there. Nartock a little, disheartened. Obviously, having to, but you got to play who's in front of you, right? And D did a hell of a job today. We'll bring Nartock in. I'll allow Asym to come in when he's ready.
Sure.
Well, welcome in, Nartock. Welcome in. Congratulations on the win.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Nartock. GG's. You kicked out our friend Asym. You're the worst. Okay, now I'm kidding.
I know.
You don't feel good about it. You can hear it in your voice that you don't feel. I mean, but like, who's just said you guys had a. One of you wasn't leaving today, right? So it was a matter of who. You can't.
It had
you
to
have to play with
happen.
that.
I can't stop it.
No.
Did he find a weapon late? What happened this game?
He was committed to the Somber. He went Somber. and
Okay.
he made a mistake. He should have probably been just like committed to like Commander Standard or Curseblade Cirques or something, and then if he found something later, switch. And he ended up just
guys.
doing a lot of
Hey,
checks.
What up,
buddy.
Asym? GG's.
Still had to
Asym.
use Commando Standard in the end,
sorry.
anyways. And
Good game.
yeah,
Nice wins, dude.
Thank you. You did really well, especially first game. You played fucking insane.
Yeah, you sniped me like, I think 4 or 5 times.
Really.
Yep.
That sucks. I just asked who's, and that's what I figured. You just didn't find a good weapon fast enough, right? It just took
Yeah.
forever. That's why I figured when I got
You just
squares and
guessed
squares
right.
and you did nothing. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I
No,
didn't
that's
anticipate
what it
this.
was. That's what it was. Like, sure, I
Okay.
could have grabbed the Commander Standard, but
I
like,
mean, you
he
had
marked
great
smithing.
had
Yeah,
great
but he marked
katana,
smithing
right?
12 at 25 minutes, and like,
Yeah.
I find Great Katana after I did Rise Hand, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, what
Yeah, that's
am I
the
supposed to
thing.
do?
Well,
Starting
that's I'm
class,
curious
I don't know
about
if you
that.
I don't know if you missed the
Yeah.
starting class, but that's long
Which
half
one?
axe, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
stats missing. It's just really solid. So I mean, I got lucky in the sense, and you got unlucky that there was legit no comparable Somber fast enough available to you. But that's the risk you took by taking a different starting class, right?
Yeah, I
That
know,
sucks.
but like, literally every weapon
It
check
sucks,
I did
yeah.
was absolutely horrible. Like,
Yeah, it sucks.
both. There was 2 rivers of blood in this seed.
Yeah. So we had some thoughts about the checks. I think because you know he's ahead of you, I think that's why I was talking about Great Katana. Would have maybe been good to see like a grab and go, because you don't have a choice but to like push a little bit.
What with what money?
yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to?
Guys, if I can interject here, I mean,
Yeah.
I think obviously like you guys could talk about like the specifics of the match and things afterwards, but like
That's true. That's true.
it's been a hell of a season from you, Asym, and I want to focus on, you know, all the great stuff you have done, because you've been wonderful. The league would not have been the same without you. Obviously,
Appreciate
you know,
that.
anyone would have wanted it. You always want to win. I'm sure you would have hoped it would have gone differently today, but you know, for now, I don't think it's we don't need to focus on it because
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of it. But you know, I want to talk to Nartock first a little bit here, and then Asym, I want to, you know, give you the floor to say whatever you would like to say. But Nartock, obviously, you know, great performance today, great win. You know, early in game 1, you were down a lot and really were able to, you know, kind of bounce back after some frustrating lobster incidents.
That lobster is fucking disgusting. I hate that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be the most like deaths we've seen from you in a playoff game. And
Yeah, I think
you know,
so.
can you maybe talk about how you were feeling in that moment and how you're able to bounce back? Because after that, you played wonderfully.
Yeah, I mean that lobster. I think I don't know. I'd say I can't learn him, and Eva like I didn't know how to fight that lobster, and even now with me seeing more of his moveset, I don't know if Somber one what's it called? Somber one Blood on Fang was enough for that guy. I should have just said, okay, I do the bad routing with Kaled. It was so good in my head, right? Kill that lobster, then you
Of
just
course.
keep running from there, get the next level T, and the rune bear you have to grace right next to it. Like, you saw how, when I pivoted back to that lobster, and then after that I still got Asym, I assumed I sniped it, on Misbegotten and Weeping bosses. And imagine I already had the lobster and the Ensha level T. It was unstoppable, as sure I would say. That was my thought process on early game. Granted, all of that only happened, that like full send line, what happened is because, honestly, Asym had the better play. Asym outplayed me in early game. He somehow got the parries. I thought I could get the parries too. Then I would have came out on top, but he had the better play. He got the better squares, the more squares, 3-2, which in better square position. So I pretty much had to send something, and then I died to that lobster so much and got finally sniped on lava tiers, which fucked me. Yeah, and by then I said, okay, I can't do nothing. I gotta set up my weapon, I gotta set up my map, so I did that, and then Asym didn't take enough stuff, and I got some squares here and there. And I saw the pressure I could build on row 1, And like, I don't know, I just went for Hail Mary on row 1, and the moment I got 4 squares on row 1, there was a lot of blood. And I really contemplated. I was like, okay, Asym is at 8 squares. Can he get 5 squares while I go to Moog? He might not. Like, that square was not mega synergistic, so I was not sure if he can even do it if I full rush it. And I was like, the lobster fucked me up, so I said, alright, I'm going to my beloved, I'm going to Mogi. He has to die. That's pretty much what went through my head in game 1.
It was crazy to watch because if you just went the troll, you would have probably ended the game there and then.
I think so too.
Right? But yeah, that was a really intense game. And then the second game had quite a fair share of like a back and forth. But I think you're right. I think you called it correctly. Like Asym's opening play, for sure, in game 1 was a lot stronger, both in square position and also Asym actually got a small shield at Kale.
Oh, so, that's how he beat me. I would be so curious how close that is if Asym also had a good Storm Wall and a Wet Blade. I'm very curious. The small shield at Kale is crazy.
Yeah, but now Nartock obviously, so we got to wait to see what it comes out to. But I mean, another semifinal for you. You now move to either, I can't remember if you're set against Asym in the Crucible or in the Rookie Rumble was a best of 1 or best of 3, but regardless, still have not lost a play. Sadly. Okay, so you now move to 7-0 all time in bingo playoff games.
Yes.
Going into the next semifinal, how are you feeling? And do you have anyone you would hope to play or not play in the next round?
Well, what can I say? I'm not as ecstatic as I would beating any other than Asym, because I feel bad, especially like being first out again, like me playing first again. But besides that, I feel great. It's playoffs, guys. What can I say? This is what I do. I lose twice in a silly way in regular season, and then it's playoffs, baby. Try to beat me. And yeah, I think I'm pretty much looking forward to every match. The only person left in a tournament that I have played official, like in a tournament, is Nexus in playoffs at least, and Shura in my division. So I would like to get back at Shura. I would play new people, so I would like to get my official go against Helios, Rambler, those guys. And if you have to ask me who do I want to play next year, I mean, give me Nexus. It's a free win.
Well, hey! His computer shouldn't crash this time, and you can't drone strike his home like you did last time.
I will drone strike that shit.
Shouldn't crash. Yeah, will crash.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Listen, we don't know anymore. We can only be so omnipotent. I'm just hopeful.
I was fair enough. Yesterday.
Congratulations on the win. You played wonderfully, man. And we look forward to seeing more bingo from you in the next round. Now, Asym, first off, I just want to thank you so much, dog. You have put so much into bingo. You joined at a point. Asym first started playing bingo with us during season 1. He was just trying to learn as much as he could and getting his ass beat by a lot of players who are more experienced, but he always persevered and got so much better and was able to get to this stage, beating out a lot of those guys to get here in the first place, and put on a great performance. Especially game 1 was incredible, one of the best games we've had all season, and also he's just a great dude and everything. I can go on and on, but the league, bingo, everything would not be the same without Asym. I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done, and I just want to give you the opportunity to say whatever you need to say.
Thank you, Hooser. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate this whole league. Like, I had a very great time. I don't really have any prior experience other than Rookie Rumble with competing in, any esport, and I really love playing bingo. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to compete against, a group of friends, really. Like, that's what this league is, and it just holds a very special place in my heart. And thank you to everybody who, has been watching me all season and cheering me on and whatever. Cheering everybody on, really, because it's a league full of great and wonderful people, and it's run by an even better person. Thank you for everything you do. You're a really great guy, and we really, really appreciate everything you do for this league. And I also want to draw a little bit more attention to our coders. Thank you, Harv. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Shura. You guys are all so awesome. And we all really, really appreciate you guys and everything you've done.
Yeah, we wouldn't have what we have without them. In a big
Yeah.
way.
Support that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's unfortunate I had to close out my season like this, especially in the second game, but I can't really complain about that too much. But yep, excited to see what Nartock does. I'm gonna be cheering him on specifically. If he loses, then he's dead to me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I'll give them
That
hell.
makes sense.
I'll give them hell.
Understand.
Yeah, I won't lose.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the kind words, Asym, and thank you guys all for watching and joining. Ellie, thank you so much for.
Please become Elden Lord.